evening of the 13th of March, and I don't know if the significance of Friday the 13th is something that touches all of us, but let's say we break this negative air that comes with Friday the 13th by having a high energy meeting tonight. So I would like to welcome all of you. Right now we are 30 people in our virtual room, and more people are arriving by the minute, which is wonderful because we are currently as international and as global as it gets in the online world. So welcome everyone. This is how we clap in the online world. So feel free to try it out. We're going to be doing a lot of this tonight. So my name is Panos, and I have the pleasure of being the Toastmaster of the day, or the early morning, depending on where all of you are currently sitting. And I would like to say that we will be doing a short round of introductions around the room, and then we will proceed with our regular agenda. But before that, here are a few, let's say, guidelines for good online conduct. So first of all, if you're not speaking, please make sure that you are on mute to avoid any noise interference. Second, and equally important, if you happen to join using a second device, make sure one of those devices is always on mute, because then we're going to get some sound interference between the two and the known microphone effect that I personally find annoying. And if you don't wish for your camera feed to be recorded, keep your camera off. Also, if you want to give a speech, for example, a competition speech, or for any other reason, and you would like for this to be edited out of the recording, of course, you can let us know, and we are happy to accommodate your wishes. At the same time, if there's anything urgent, for example, if you have a meeting role as an evaluator and you would like to leave early, because I understand it can get late at night based on what we're about to do, and feel free to send me a message on the chat. I mean, you can see my name, either me or Willie, and we're happy to accommodate changes in the agenda to make sure we all have a nice experience doing this. It's about connecting and not about stressing. And then again, as we said, this is the way we clap. This is what we do when we can't hear a speaker. And yes, exactly. Thank you, Daniel. Then we're about to roll. Tonight, we have a meeting theme: cohesion. Now, cohesion is a wonderful word because of what it means. I would ask you to introduce your name and where you come from, and perhaps if you already belong to another Toastmasters Club, and then perhaps tell us a few words about what cohesion means to you. Now, since this is a word that we seldom use, I would like to go first and tell you that for me, cohesion means unity. And unity means together, togetherness. So how the different parts fit together to form a greater whole. And in a way, the current global situation brings to our awareness, if I may say, the fact that we're sharing this wonderful planet, all of us together. and we get to witness the consequences of our actions and our decisions now on a global scale. So in a way, cohesion is another step that expresses togetherness and unity. I would love to hear what it means to you in your own words. So in no particular order, let's have a quick round of introductions. My name is Panos. I'm currently sitting in Greece, and I look forward to hearing from Carlos. Carlos, are you good to go?
Hello, glad to see you here, guys. My name is Carlos Zhu. I come from TaiZhong City, China. This is the first time I attend the TMC meeting, especially online. Really glad to be here and to see such so many strong partners like you guys. I'm working hard to join the TMC. To try my best to join the TMC, but you know, because of the coronavirus, virus, so my access to join the TMC was stopped. But it's okay because China has been recovery from the coronavirus, maybe in short terms. So I will continue to try my best to join the TMC to finish all the tasks. That's me. Thank you. Bye bye.
Next up, could we hear from Toastmaster Autumn? Autumn, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Autumn. I'm Autumn Chen. And I'm also from TaiZhong #1 Club. And cohesion means for me is everything is possible. Is that enough? Or do we have to continue?
If it is enough for you, then it is enough for us because we know that now what it means to you. Everything is possible.
Yes, that's right. And also I will give you an English speech tonight. So
looking forward to that, Autumn. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. So so who's next?
Well, let's say I spy with my little eye a Toastmaster called Dennis. Dennis.
Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I happen to be in the United States in California. I am a member of the Singapore Online Club here and also a member of 3 other clubs. Cohesion to me is, I guess, one of the annoying cohesion, if you want to call it cohesion, is if you're in a movie theater and you're sitting down and you find that there's something on the chair, and when you get up, you find that there's something cohesion to your bottom because someone left something sticky in the chair. Back to you, Panos.
Well, thank you for introducing us to the annoying side of anything that can happen in a common setting like a movie theater. We've all been there. Next up, can we hear from Toastmaster Paul Mooney? Paul, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. Good evening, Panos, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Mooney. I'm coming to you from just outside Canberra in Australia. And to me, cohesion has various meanings depending on the circumstances, but the common theme here is the idea of unity, of things sticking together in the physics sense, as unity to start with, the idea that we've come from different parts of the world and we've united in this one room this evening. And I might apologise in advance because I also live awfully close to Canberra Airport. So in another act of cohesion, the last flight of the night might interrupt the presentation this evening. Now that flight is SQ228, so that's another act of cohesion, perhaps between my city of Canberra and the Centre of Singapore Online Toastmasters course in Singapore. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. let's move on to our friend Punita, who is about to not be silent as in the beginning of the meeting. Punita, take it away. Let me unmute you.
Yes.
You're good to go.
Thank you, Panos. Mr. Toastmasters of the Day and fellow Toastmasters, such a pleasure to be here on this platform. This is the first time I'm attending the online Toastmasters meeting. I am a member of Lenki Community Center Toastmasters in Singapore. And for me, cohesion certainly means togetherness. And at the same time, it is how one person's perception, their reaction has an impact on the whole. So how all of us, though together, we have certain ideas, but at the same time, when individually we can impact each other, that can be very powerful also. So cohesion is togetherness at the same time, impacting each other more profoundly. Back to you, Panos. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Punita. Your words certainly have impact in helping us think the theme of the evening from many, many different angles. Next up, it will be a pleasure to hear from Daniel Fang. Daniel, can you hear us?
Hi.
The floor is yours, Daniel.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Danielle. I'm from Bayan Baru Toastmasters Club. To me, cohesion means, as a person that does a lot of crafting, cohesion just means that I would want my pieces of paper stick together. And that's all. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Could you repeat your phrase? I'm not sure it was audible to all of us.
Oh, I said that to me, cohesion means that it sticks. So as a person who does a lot of crafting, I would like my craft to be able to stick together. And that's literally how it means to me.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, the practical side of things. If we're gonna make anything of value, really, it's gonna have different parts. So those parts better stick together and not fall apart.
Yes.
Next up, can we hear from Angela, who is currently joining our room with a pseudonym Galaxy A7. So hello to your Galaxy, Angela. Please unmute yourself. Okay, I'm unmuting you, Angela, so you can be talking. We can hear you now.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Cohesion. Cohesion is what we have. We have cohesion, gathering together people from all over the world. To me, that is cohesion. It's wonderful. That's all. Oh, let me tell you who I am. I'm Angela Lansbury. I'm sitting here in Singapore. I'm a member of 3 different clubs. This one, I'm also president of Bradwell Heights Advance, and I'm a member of Tampines Chancat Advance, and I'm also an area director of S3, though one of my clubs is in S5. So as you can hear, I have trouble keeping track of all these different clubs and numbers. And the source of the cohesion, I suppose, is me. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Social cohesion at its best through Toastmaster and through each Toastmaster individually. Next up, Could I get to hear from Raj? Raj, are you ready to go? Okay, perhaps Raj is not listening to us, although we can hear him. Can we get to hear from Aldwin? Please unmute yourself and
Yes, can you
yes,
hear me?
welcome.
Oh,
Welcome.
good. I'm just worried about the signals breaking. This is Aldwin. I come from the TaiZhong #1 Toastmasters in China, and I'm very happy to attend this meeting tonight. Cohesion for me, it's like, especially these days, I saw a lot of people dedicate themselves to the to against the COVID-19. I saw a lot of the very good spirit. So this is a very good keyword of the day, I think. Back to you.
Thank you, Alvin. It is in fact the key word, you know. Isn't it wonderful how a single word can stimulate our thinking and make us reflect? I find that amazing. Next up, can we get to hear from Winnie?
Hello everyone.
Hi.
I'm Winnie. I'm also from TaiZhong #1 Toastmasters Club, and for me, this word maybe means joins all of us in a team, and we work together to make some improvements to our daily life, or even work or achieve some goals in the future. So it's kind of inspiring, you know. That means everything, if we work together, that means everything is going to be better, or we will find the problem, we will solve it. At least we are happy to stay together. So it's my opinion on this word. Thank you. Just turn back to you.
Thank you, Winnie. Thank you. Well, a team means together, and right now we're a team of 30 here online. So let's keep going strong. It will be a pleasure to hear from Wrong. Welcome online. Good to see you again, man. Let me unmute you, and you go. You're unmuted. Good to go.
Hello, hi. I'm Rong Lee. I'm from Singapore, Clementi CC Toastmasters Club. For Cohesion, can't really think much about Cohesion at the moment. I just like to say hi and back to you, Panos. Sorry.
Thank you. You feel free to take as much time as you need to get some cohesion in your thoughts, Wrong. So then perhaps we can ask our friend Raj if he's ready to introduce himself, because I see he's, yes, Raj, welcome to the virtual stage.
Thank you so much. So good evening. Is it evening or morning there? Hello.
It's different parts of the world, so it's many time zones. Very colorful.
Okay. In India, it is evening 6 p.m. in India. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So hello everyone. This is Raj from India, Mumbai, and I am part of TCS Matthew Toastmaster Club. It comes under District 98. And yeah, I just love to attend the Singapore online meeting, because whenever I get a notification, I just get excited, and when I feel free, then I just join the link very soon. I really love to listen all of you, really, because I have listened many of you in the past even. I really love to do the same. I am really very excited when I get chance. I get to join the link. It is very much it out. And these days, the tradition of online meeting is getting increased because of global issue of the corona stuff. People are moving to the online meetings more and more. So even in the Mumbai, there have been restriction to meet offline in the meeting. So we are not only we, there are many clubs who are trying to meet online. So in the coming months, probably more people are becoming online Toastmaster now.
That is the whole idea. Thank you so much, Raj.
Yeah.
At the same time, we are asked not to stick together to make sure the virus
Yeah.
doesn't spread, but at the same time, we get to hang out with each other in the online world.
Yes, yes,
This
yes,
is
yes,
how
definitely.
a
Yes,
bad
definitely.
thing. This is how a bad thing can
Yes.
become a good thing in the end. So thank you, Raj.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right after that, I see a few, can't say faces because the camera is off. So let's try out and see who is listening and who's ready. Whoa, one camera, we have a winner. One camera is now on. Abdul, please introduce yourself to our little gathering here today.
Hey, hello guys, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Abdul from America, New York. Today is Friday. I'm very excited. Everyone is online, which is a great thing, like you said, from bad to good. So now we should take this good advantage, and not only that, we should stick with it and learn from each other, because you'll be surprised how much we can learn from each other. Since I started over here just by listening, I became more conscious, became more observant.
Okay, it seems that Abdul froze a little bit. So Abdul, if you're listening, yes, Abdul, you're back online. You froze for a few seconds.
Yeah, can you hear me? So I was saying, yeah, I'm very excited to be here. My name is Abdul. I'm from New York, and welcome everybody. And you guys, stick with it. It's a great opportunity to learn from everybody. So back to you, sir.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you for your input. There is a lot to be learned from unity, learning from each other. Thank you for this tip, Abdul. Then next up, I see Lily. Lily, the stage is yours.
Hi, this is Lily Pua. I'm from Singapore. I belong to the UNOS Bilingual Toastmasters Club. First time online. Well, I went through some trainings with Willie, so invited to this platform. For me, cohesion, because of the COVID-19, so I think the key word that we all have to remember is that we have to be socially responsible for all our actions so that we can mitigate this virus. Over to you, Toastmasters of the Day.
Thank you so much. Yes, when from unity and togetherness, responsibility arises. That's an excellent point. Now I wonder if we can hear from SLU DTM. Does SL hear us? All right, perhaps he needs a bit more time. So let's move on to Thevi. Thevi.
Hello, hi. Can you hear me now? Hi, my name is Devi. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, TC Segambut Toastmasters Club. I'm a VPE of the club. It's amazing to meet so many of you here. One of the main attributes of Toastmasters is the very fact of us working in cohesive manner to make every meeting successful. That's what it means to me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Thevi. Thank you. Working in a cohesive manner. Excellent tip. Now let's move on to Sam Wang. Take it away, Sam.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can exactly hear me? My name is Sam Wan. I'm from China exactly. TaiZhong club, #1 club. And the cohesion for me is something that brings us together and what we are gonna produce tonight. Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. We can expect quality being produced out of Cohesion. Next up, I see Sylvia online. Sylvia, would you like to introduce yourself? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sylvia from TaiZhong #1 TMC. Cohesion for me is the energy of a group. So back to you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Quick and crisp, but you brought energy into the discussion. Then next up, could I get to hear from Toastmaster Alicia? Alicia, are you ready to go?
Sorry, what's your question?
The question is introducing yourself and perhaps also telling us what cohesion means for you, Alicia.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, welcome, good evening, everyone, to President, special guests and members. My name is Alicia Chia. I'm from Singapore Online Toastmaster Club and currently the president of Whampoa Toastmaster Club. To me, cohesion is a very important word because in this climate of coronavirus or COVID-19, where everybody is so fearful and fear creates division, this cohesive spirit is even more important. Whether be it office, your business, and even your home. So as the famous, the adage says that together we stand, divided we fall. So that's my take on cohesion. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Alicia. You've expanded my thinking. Cohesion can be the opposite of fear. There's no space, there's no room for fear when we have cohesion. Thank you. Now, moving on, we got some invisible partners in the room. So let me try and see if Gemina is there. Would like to introduce, is it herself or himself? I'm not sure, to the group. Gemina? All right, in this case, we can move on to Kimi Zhang. All right. Kimi is online. Help me welcome Kimi, everyone. Let me unmute you so we can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm a founder office of TaiZhong #1 Club, and also I'm an independent designer. Okay, glad to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimi. Thank you. It's interesting to see how nearly all our participants tonight have been doing a lot of work for Toastmasters. That's inspiring to see. Then let's see if Neri Gatti would like to share a few words. Okay, perhaps later. Then Evelina, is Evelina with us? All right, Juan? And yes, well, there you go. Juan popped up. Help me welcome Juan.
Okay, hello everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm from TaiZhong #1 TMC Club. For me, cohesion, I think it's you and me. Some come from Singapore, Australia, but for me, I come from China. I think this is Cohesion. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you. Thank you for being there at the right moment and turning your camera on. Then here we got Gloria Dong. Gloria, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay.
Hi, Gloria.
Hello. I have big trouble dealing with my headphones, and because I have this computer, because I never do the online thing, and I recently, because of the online TMC meetings, so I just got my device, and there is something still wrong. So how is my voice sound like? Is it clear? I don't think so. Is it?
Perfect.
All right, okay. I'm from China, TaiZhong Bilingual TMC Club, and it's a great evening to see all of you. That's it, pretty much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. It's great to see you too, and your voice sounds great.
Thank you.
Then, can we get to hear from Shan Shan? All right. I guess we're gonna get to hear Shanshan later because I know that we have a speech waiting up from Shanshan. Then that would be the right moment for me to invite Gerald to introduce himself.
Hi, Panos. Gerald here. I'm from Singapore Online. Sorry, my video is off because I'm hosting another meeting at the moment. I'll come in later to SG Online. It's all about cohesion with different countries. I'm just rescuing another club chapter meeting at the moment that's online. We'll see you in a while and come back as Uncle Tomato later.
All right. Gerald, you're always welcome to join us again when you finish your parallel meeting. Wow, talking about multitasking here. So I would say that this is about the right moment for me to, oh no, I see Margaret. All right, Margaret. You want to introduce yourself and perhaps tell us what cohesion means to you, Margaret? Margaret, I can see you, but I don't know if you can hear us. All right. Maybe Margaret can't hear us. All right, so first of all, I probably forgetting some meeting participant because I see now we're up to 31. So yeah, I see Gemina. Gemina, can you hear us? Gemina Mama? Gemina? It's interesting. I'm not sure. So I tell you what, those that can hear me, can you go like this? Because all right, great. Okay, Margaret, you can hear us. So, okay, would you like to introduce yourself briefly to the group? I will unmute you now, Margaret.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Margaret from Singapore. Hello, everybody. I'm from AIA Toastmasters Club. Just managed to rush in to join all of you this evening. And welcome to all our guests from all over the world. It's good to have you.
Thank you, Margaret. Then I see Ricky. Would Ricky perhaps like to introduce himself? Or perhaps not. And Jenny Lee? All right. So we did over 80%, and that's a success in the online world. So again, a big round of applause to all of us that shared their ideas tonight on Cohesion. And thank you for joining from practically all over the planet, from US to Australia. I find this amazing. Last but not least, it is my pleasure to welcome the club president, Willie, to introduce himself and to tell us about his view on tonight's theme and club business that will be interesting to us. Willie, the floor is yours. Help me welcome the club president.
Fellow Toastmaster and friends, Echo Club President, Autumn, title Toastmaster Club. Unity, cohesion. Actually, what is cohesion? Is unity. Today, we sat in a meeting where we unite together as Toastmaster for Asia, Europe, to North America, to Australia, South Pacific. This is the kind of Toastmaster Club that I wish the Singapore Online Toastmaster Club meeting can have it every week, regardless whether there's coronavirus, SARS, or MERS. We wish to have this meeting every Friday. Fellow Toastmaster, are you willing to attend our online meeting every Friday? Say yes. This is the spirit of Toastmaster. Whether we are for Singapore or we are for the whole world. When I first started this club 5 months ago, my first objective is to unite the Toastmaster in Singapore. That is the District 80, which I am also a club officer there. The journey to unity of Toastmaster in Singapore is not easy. And that's why I started an online Toastmaster club that it will allow me to have this goal of unite the committee, which unite the committee is District 80 District Director Ernest Chen message to District 80 club officer and Toastmaster. So I especially select this top team of committee is because at this crisis, at this pandemic, we are united regardless where we are. We are here to continue in our journey in public speaking, in communication and public speaking. Let me go to the main message. I believe that the ability to persuade, influence, and build consensus is the most important skill that you can have in the workplace. If you attempt to add one more skill to your toolbox in your coming year, verbal persuasion should be at the top of your list. This begs the obvious follow-up question: how do you make yourself more persuasive? It's not easy, as it requires constant attention and preparation. But at the fundamental level, persuasive communication have a few consistent characteristics. Communication have a few clarity, brevity, context, impact, value. These are the 5 characteristics that we see most consistency. If it's not clear, the audience will not be persuaded. Are you persuaded tonight to join us at the next meeting or join us as a member of the club? If your audience is waiting for you to get to the point, that's my message tonight. Get to the point and make you or may you not convinced. If the relevance is my topic relevant to the audience not obvious, the audience will not be persuaded. If there's no impact, the audience cannot remember what you say. They will not be persuaded. Last two meeting, I talked about servant leadership. Last Friday, I talked about emotional intelligence. And today, I talked about cohesion. So, for fellow Toastmasters who have attended the last two meetings, do you still remember what I said? I know there's one Toastmaster will still remember what I said. That is Toastmaster Panos. Every week when we have a weekly call, he always mentioned that he keep to the tip of the week, even we are just chit-chatting. Point number 5, if there's no value, the speaker only communicate for his own perspective, the audience will not be received. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, if you are starting to think about professional self-development for 2020, add these 5 words to your list. Clarity, priority, context, impact, and value. If you can achieve this thing, you will be more effective and persuasive. You have a better year ahead and a good meeting. Enjoy the rest of the meeting. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. What can I say, Willie? It is a pleasure to keep to the meeting theme when you select a theme, when you propose a theme that concerns us all and is conducive to building the team spirit that we're aiming at in this club. So after this round of introduction, after being inspired by our club president, it is time for some serious fun. And as Toastmasters, we know that serious fun is where table topics are. So it is my pleasure to welcome tonight's table topic master to take the virtual stage. Help me welcome the table topics master, Willie.
Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And let's enjoy the most interesting table topic we have in Singapore at the Singapore Online Toastmaster Club meeting. As most of you are Toastmaster, I will not explain. I believe there's no Toastmaster on the line. Toastmasters segment is where we talk about impromptu speaking, and we will choose someone to speak instead of you volunteer. Last Friday, it was a very exciting meeting because Toastmaster for Futu A+ Club, they out of 20 table topic, they take up 30 table topic question, and Singapore Online Toastmaster Club member take 4 topic. So guess what? Who will the best table topic? Who will the best table topic speaker? That's for Singapore. That's Alicia Chan. Okay, table topic. The timer will show a 1 minute for green card, 1.5 minute for yellow card, 2 minutes for red card, and 2.5 minutes there's a bus, or the color will go inside a very colorful sign. Okay, this is the most important. Let me try to get someone, and if you are unmute, you will be asked to speak. I will, as club president, definitely I will invite the club president, Autumn, to be the first speaker. Can you choose a topic?
I will choose my lucky number 7.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the question is: a strong team can take any crazy vision and turn it into reality. It's by John McMahon. Over to
Okay.
you, Autumn.
Okay, a strong team can take any crazy vision and turn it into reality. Okay, for this a strong team, I have to mention our officer team in TaiZhong #1. We have great president, great VPE, which is here today, Sylvia. Recently, we came up with a program called Roaming in Toastmasters, because all of us know that the coronavirus is zooming in the worldwide. So we changed our plan, which is offline meeting to online meeting. And Sylvia came up to a great plan. We can use this as the opportunity to travel around the world to visit cities, different countries, different clubs, online meeting. So within this crazy idea, our team are very stick together. We have very good cohesion, and we make a plan. We have every meeting. We have a manager for each meeting. And the first meeting went to Ningbo, which is also in China. And the second meeting, we came to Singapore, which is your club. We're very happy to be here today. And we have about 20 guests who are very pleasure about this meeting, and we are now online to have this meeting. So I think this roaming, this traveling around the world in this special occasion is a crazy idea, but we made it because we are a strong team. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Autumn. Let us choose the next speaker. I will have the honor to choose someone for Singapore. Punita. Choose a topic.
Thank you, Willie. I'll take number 15, please.
Okay. Your question is, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a process. Working together is a success. By Andrew Ford. Over to you.
Mr. Table Topic Masters, fellow Toastmasters. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I totally believe in this. And this platform of online meeting is a good example of this. For me, today is the beginning to be in this meeting. And it is such a pleasure to see people from all, Toastmasters, I would not say people, Toastmasters from all over the world together in single platform. And now, with this beginning, as Willie had said few months ago, he started this platform. It has really grown to 41 people from the beginning of the meeting today. In the beginning, it was just 30. Now it has come to 41. So it is the getting together of all these amazing Toastmasters from all over the world. I'm sure it'll result into, as many of us said, learning from each other and growing. And that is the whole part of a big community getting together and bringing out some really amazing results. So I totally believe that as a group, we can, when we start thinking of bringing together and beginning a project, we can progress into something amazing. With that, I will give back the platform to Willie. Thank you, Willie.
Thank you, Punika. Okay, let us have someone. Let me choose someone. Okay, Gemini. Can you want to try it? Choose the topic. Gemini.
Hi, is that me?
Yes. Choose a topic.
Oh, up to table topic 1.
Okay. Okay. Although we can do so little, together we can do so much by Helen Keller.
Yes, alone we can do as little as one person can do, but when we are together, we can achieve a lot more, because when you are working alone, you are one mind. You're only limited to your own ideas. But when you work with other people, you get so many different ideas. You get to know even what you did not know. Look at us right now. I am from South Africa. I did not know that at some point we will be together in one meeting with people from all around the world, developing ourselves, becoming better speakers. So together we can do a lot more than one person would do. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Jomana. Let me get someone for the West. Okay, let me choose someone for the East. Let's go back to China again. It's Kimi turn. Choose a topic.
What?
Kimi Chen. Are you there? Let me try to get someone else. Let me get someone else. Okay, can I have this guy? Can I have a guy? Edwin. For TaiZhong number 1. Choose a topic.
Yes. I may choose table topic 12.
Okay, your table topic 12 is getting things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. By the late Steve Jobs.
Even Jobs. Okay. Well, it just sounds very nice, but I really doubt it. These sentences. Good things. I saw a lot of people. They do things wrong, and they can create a really great things. Like Stephen Jobs. A lot of people doubt what he can do with Apple. A lot of people not really have confidence in Stephen Jobs, but then he did it. I remember he did it alone, at least at the very beginning, and then a lot of people, when he getting bigger and bigger, stronger, and a lot of people join him. So I don't really think great things in business can be a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people may have too many different thoughts about things. You usually can see a lot of people, they argue with profit, argue with how the strategy of the company in the management. So yeah, I would prefer some companies only the decision only decided by one person. So that's my opinion. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Edwin. Let me get the next speaker. If you want to volunteer, please raise up your hand under the chat, under your name, and then I can choose you. So whoever chat, or I will choose the person. No one. Okay. Toastmaster Sophie Shi. Choose the topic. Sophie.
Thank you. So I will choose topic number 2.
Okay. Your topic is none of us is as smart as all of us by Ken Barachat. None of us is as much as all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually try to understand this. None of us is as smart as all of us. Would be possible, like if you can just like give me a little explanation of it, because I don't think I understand. It's too philosophical.
All of us together. The quote is, none of us is as smart as all of us together. There's a word missing.
Yeah, I missed that word. Never mind. The meaning is if we are smart, when we have more people, we are smarter. That's the meaning.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. You know, given the current situation, coronavirus situation in China and the worldwide, you know, like we see a lot of like very intelligent scientists, you know, can working on the individual projects, but you know, given the situation, bring all of us together. You know, in China, worldwide, in the U.S., in the Europe, a lot of people come together. We work all together and fight the situation. You know, like there's no one person can do, can like, can find the vaccine for the virus. It really needs to all of us to work together. Second, I think that's what people, we as a human, we're living in a society, we need to socialize with each other. And also like when you see in teamwork, sometimes we need to work as in a team. There's a Chinese saying is that like there's a Chinese saying is that one chopsticks is very easy to break, but a bunch of chopsticks is never easy to break. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie, for your choice, your answer to the table topic. It was really a marvelous work. Okay, can I have the next table topic speaker, Carlo? What's the topic?
Thank you for inviting me. I want the topic 3. Yes.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. It's the only thing that ever has.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Okay, so about this topic, in my own opinion, I think the great success will never only belong to a big group. Sometimes a small group, they also have a great thought, and they can create a new world, such as Steve Jobs. Okay, as iPhone be created before, I think it's a small group for Apple, for iPhone, for his company, I think. So in that case, he has a great thoughts and create a smartphone of iPhone, and it's really changed the world. Before he created this phone, people never think it will be changed like this way, but now it's changed, and only for this small group. That's my own opinion about this sentence. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carol. The next table topic speaker, I will choose someone for Singapore. Let me choose someone for Singapore. Jennifer, choose a topic. Jennifer Lim.
17.
Okay, 90.
17.
Okay, 17, sorry. The ratio of we to I is the best indicator of the development of a team. The ratio of we to I is the best indicator of a development of a team. Over to you, Jennifer.
Thank you. The ratio of we to I is the best indicator of the development of a team. I would agree because, for example, when I was asked to actually arrange a team to work on our renovation, office of the renovation, I was the project leader. I can't do it alone. So I need to get different people from different departments to help me, to tell me what they want to change to the office, the workstations, the environment, the type of furniture that they want. In order to get this team, I have to actually look at the different division heads and ask them to nominate the line managers to help me out. So therefore, I would say that the ratio of we to I is the best indicator of the development of a team. Without the we, I cannot have a team. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, Toastmaster Jennifer. Let us have someone for America. Dennis. Let me share my screen. Sorry about it. Let me share my screen again. Choose a topic.
4.
Okay, sorry. The strength of a team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team. By Phil Jackson.
Oh boy. Okay, Mr. Table Topic, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests. If you want to measure how good a group of people is, you need to look at the individuals and how they work together. If a group of people is going to be wanting to work on their own, and each individual that wants to be the strongest one of the group and try to be the leader, then there is no team. But if you can get everybody to work together and pull together, you will have a good team. A good example of that would be if you were having like a tug of war team where you have two teams in each trying to pull the rope, and everyone on each side tries to pull at a different rate, you will not win. The other side will win because you're not working together. But if everyone tries to pull together equally and at the same time, you will be able to win. So that is the best way to have a team, is with people who are pulling together, working together with the same goal and working together at the same time. When people try to work individually and not pay attention to what everybody else is doing, you might get your job done, but for the overall group, you will not. So the best way is to work together as a team, as a group, and focus on the same thing at the same time. Back to you, Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dennis. Let me try to get someone who has not spoken. Winnie Tong, choose a topic.
Okay, I would like to choose topic 6.
Okay.
Yes, 6 is my lucky number.
Individual commitment to a group effort, that is what makes a teamwork. The company work, the society work, a civilized work by which Losbardi.
Okay. To individual commitment to a group efforts makes a teamwork, a company work, a social work, a civilization work. So, well, I already work in just in the society after graduated, about 12 years. So I really I agree with this sentence because you know, when we're work in the business company, then we need to earn profit, and everyone need to make efforts to the growth, and also the company some of the process improvement, and also new product development. Also, we need to face a lot of competitions from all the world around us. And also, even right now we are fighting with the coronavirus and the breaking of the black swans, and makes all the markets falling down and day by day. So if we want to stand up again, we need to make the economic growth again. Make it at one day by one day, then it was not a sentence just to say, oh, we will be better tomorrow. And it means all of us need to work very much better today. So we quickly make the tomorrow grow better again. So if we are in the team, everybody move a stick, then we got 10 or 20 sticks together. So that's kind of understanding really makes me think a lot of the whole world today, because we are connected by a named virus today, and we all of us could at least stay at home for a few days and cut the spread of the virus. Maybe it will make a better world tomorrow. So that's my speech. Turn back to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Winnie, for your speech. Let me choose someone for India, Raj Bahar. Choose a topic. Are you there, Raj? If not, I will choose someone already. I will choose. Okay, let me choose someone for the Pacific. Paul Maloney. Choose a topic, Paul.
Let's go. Let's try table topic 13.
Because today is 30 March. I'm a member of a team, and I rely on a team. I defer to it and sacrifice for it because the team is the ultimate.
It's okay. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very interesting topic and a very challenging one, because it depends a bit on perspective. Now, I'm reminded a little bit here of a movie a little bit violent called The Untouchables, which was one of the early Kevin Costner films, and there was a scenario in which the actor playing Al Capone was describing, I think, comparing his organization to a baseball team, and when the baseball players are batting, it is about individual achievement, because it's the individual that is facing the opposition. Then when the team is out on the field, then when the members of the team are reversing their roles and are out in the field, then they are part of this. Then they have to act as part of the team. They have to be cohesive, and they have to work together, and they have to use the strategies that they've used during training. Now, this particular scene in this particular movie ends up being rather gory and unpleasant because it results in someone being killed. But the analogy he was using was to describe, well, it was a teamwork analogy, in effect. And this quote is a teamwork analogy. Now, as I said, my problem with it is that while certainly teamwork is important, I would have to argue that there is a time for teamwork and the team working together, but there is also a time for individual achievement, and both of these need to be recognized in a business environment or in the Toastmasters environment or any other environment where there is both a team component where people do need to work together, and remember there is also an individual component. So while I agree with the concept to a certain extent, I don't agree with it entirely, because it does ignore the role of the individual in actually occasionally shining, sometimes perhaps at the expense of the team. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Paul, for his. Okay, let us choose someone who do not have a role tonight. Sam Wang. Choose the topic,
Yeah,
Sam.
yeah. Well, I'd like to choose topic 11. Maybe 11 is
Okay.
my lucky number, so I choose it.
Finding good players is easy. Getting them to play as a team is another story. Finding good players is easy.
Yeah,
Getting them
I
to play as a team is another story.
yeah, actually, I get the sentence, and what I'm thinking is that you can easily find some people to play in a competition, but they need to practice. They need to train like a team to do this work. What I mean is that they need to build their cohesion and work like a team. So perhaps the soccer team is the best. Soccer team or basketball team is the best example. You can find the random people on the street and ask them to come here to play, but you can't but they can't compete with professional team, because professional teams, they trained and they trained and they practice times and times again. So they become professionals, they become well trained, and they can play much better than normal and random people. And that's all what I'm thinking about this sentence. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam Wang. Okay, we have some more time, and then I will get Sarah. THEVY. Do you want to choose a topic?
TV, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What about number 1?
Number 1 is taken already. Ghost is both
Oh,
still
I'm sorry.
available.
All right, okay, so I highlighted 1. Okay, number 5.
Okay. Teamwork is the ability to work together towards a common vision. The ability to direct individual accomplishments towards organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. By Andrew Carnegie. Over to you, Tosmas Tiva.
Okay, what is teamwork? And do we have a problem there in the first place? How do we get people to be in the team? And I think it all starts with the passion. One has to have the passion to accomplish whatever they are in it. And I believe I would like to go back all the way to how this person or any individual, every one of us has been brought up as kids at the household itself. Do we practice this? Do we see end of the day by practicing such attributes back home that we see success as a whole? If that has happened, it becomes a little bit more easier at your workplace or in any organization, I believe. So once that's been established and it has been, if the person is in this situation because they are feeling very strongly about the objective of the end goal, then it becomes a little bit more easier. So I believe when you are hiring someone in the first place to be to take on any job, first of all, you'd like to know whether they have their heart in it. If they don't have it in it, and I'm telling you, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to see the cohesive attribute in them for them to see the end goal that as a team you'd like to see happening. So first of all, you want to go back and see whether this person feels about this, wanting to work as a team player before even you go further on to hire them. That's number one. Number two, I think as a leader, you need to work towards that. Once you see the potential in this person, it's up to you how you're going to direct them to see that the goal is achieved. If you see the potential in that person, as a leader, you got a lot of work to do. And then you will see this objective achieved, I won't say easily, but with challenges, but I'm telling you, it's worth the trouble. Over to you.
Thank you, Tiva. Let us go back to Singapore. Alicia, the queen of table topic for last meeting. Will you be a queen again this meeting? Let's choose a topic.
Topic number 8.
The secret of
please.
success is good leadership, and good leadership is all about making the life of your team members or worker better. By Tony Duffy.
A very good evening to club president, to fellow guests and members. Today I pick a topic which says the secret to success is good leadership. And good leadership is all about making the lives of your team members or workers better, by Tony Dungy. Firstly, is there any secret to good leadership? For me, there is no secret to good leadership. It all boils down to the concept of servant leadership, which is open to everybody. And servant leadership presents to us that as leaders, we ought to serve our members or workers. Serve them in a way that helps them in their work to be more productive, to be more efficient, and also to work happily. Sorry, President, can I have the table topic title? I can't see. So as a servant leader, you will always strive to help your members, team members and workers improve their life. When their lives improve through your efficient and caring leadership, your members and workers will feel that by your service, you care for them, and their hearts will open and they work more happily for you. So this is no secret. And servant leadership is open to every leader. It's just that whether you want to practice this and make it a part of your practical leadership daily. However, the thing about practicing servant leadership is it's not easy to practice because we have lots of things that make your leadership tough. And especially now in the times of disasters, natural disasters like COVID-19, where this is the test of leadership. Can we still continue to serve our team members and workers without feeling the stress and without allowing the fear to engulf us? So fellow members, there's really no secret to good leadership. It's open to everyone, and we must practice servant leadership consistently so that everybody can work together, united, and build a better life. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Alicia. Somebody raise a hand. I will unmute her. And yes, Mona. Choose a topic, Mona.
Hi, thank you. I want to choose topic say 16.
Okay, the topic is how it's amazing how much bigger people can get done if they do not worry about who get the credit.
Okay, thank you, Toastmasters. It's really amazing how much people can get done if they do not worry about who gets the credit. I think it's the magic of the team power, the vision thing. It's very difficult to build a common vision in a team. It's very hard one. My job is about the health management thing and the hospital. It's a very big organization, and we've run in too many hospitals. They lack team power. They lack common visions. So my job is to help them to build a very strong, common, and everyone recognize the vision. And I think the steps to build team vision, a common vision, is that first, the leaders, they have to have a clear direction where they want to go. And then they have to be a very good listening organization. They have to listen to their members, what they want. And so they would discuss to finalize the common vision so that the vision is everyone wanted, not only the leader wanted. So the third step is that after they have set the common vision, they have to set different goals like short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals so that the members and the leaders, they would be clear what steps where they have been so that they would be clear, oh, I have achieved A, then my next step is to achieve B. So all the team would be very inspired to achieve the common vision and finally to achieve the final goal. So I think the common vision is the most important one. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mona. Can I have a guest? I believe there's a guest called Nija. Would you like to take part a table topic? Nija Kani. She's not she. Okay, let me get a guest for across the causeway. Toastmaster Liu, would you like to take a topic?
We can separate that, but ultimately what we want to do is connect all this data mining and crowdsourcing of people with mild illness with testing data, and that's really the sort of.
Okay, never mind. I have someone. I get Toastmaster Jenny Lim. Choose a topic. Jenny, are you there?
Okay, topic 10.
Okay. When a team outgrows individual performance and learn the confidence. Excellence become a reality.
Okay, I'll start now. Oh wait, where's the timer? Huh? Let's just hang on. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to start. Okay. When a team outgrows individual performance and learns team confidence, excellence becomes a reality. There's always an acknowledgement that a team it's the power. So when everyone really come together and individual performance get gel together, become very cohesive, and everybody grows together, there's greater confidence, and that will not naturally translate to excellence. I'm currently on a course, and I felt that my team members have been great. We have our own strength, we have our own weakness, but as a class we work together, and we have actually helped one another to go through. We've performed individually, we have make ourselves changes, and we feel that even though we're halfway through the course, we are excellent team, excellent course mates, and excellent class. Even our lecturers were actually very amazed at the way, the cohesiveness that we have among my course mates. So I'm very thankful that that because we put aside our individual differences, but we together we learn from one another. We are able to actually go through a lot of challenges together, even as a course mate. We learned about each other, but in fact that now our lecturer is very impressed with us, and we're going to have dinner with our lecturer, which is the first time we're going to do that. So very thankful that teamwork, there's always power. So never journey alone, always bring a friend, bring a team, and we'll be all excellent people. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jenny Lee. Okay, I will get our most colorful lady on the screen. I guess most of us who are in Singapore will know who is he or her. That is our dear Angela Lasbury. Choose a
Thank
topic.
you.
Two devices.
Yeah, let me turn off my mobile. Me now. Oh.
So Angela, are you there? Or okay, never mind. She have connectivity.
Hello, is that better?
Yeah.
Hello.
Which one?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Can I pick the last topic?
If you can laugh together, you can work together.
Hello? If I turn the mobile off, I can't hear anything.
Oh, never mind. We skip you for now because maybe you got some audio issue. We'll go to the next speaker because of timing reason. I have to move on to the next. Sorry, Angela. Okay, we have the last 3 questions. Okay, let me try to get someone who is the first timer today. Toastmaster thinking for CR Starfire. Choose a topic. I see left.
Hi.
Are you
Hi,
there?
Willie.
What's the topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the topic?
I
9, 40,
I would
80, and
choose
90.
18.
Okay. Sorry. Incorporate teamwork into the culture, building the building blocks of success.
Good teams incorporate teamwork into their culture, creating the building blocks for success. Willie, can you explain a little more?
Everyone of us are working in a team, whether in a club officer or whether we are doing a project. Where we have teamwork, where we have a teamwork to do a particular task, we break down the barriers of difficulty and we move on to fulfill the project. This example,
So,
you are a club officer
I mean,
of your club. How do you incorporate teamwork as part of your role?
okay, got it. So that means just such as a company, if a company has its own culture, the focus on teamwork building is something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting topic. One year ago, I just I'm a startup business owner. Actually I'm an Airbnb host. I rent a apartment. Then I put it in a platform like the Airbnb or the other platforms. But at that time, only I and my colleague, but we didn't have the experience about business, and we didn't have experience to work together. So finally we failed. I think if we know this, if we can know this culture, we know how to get together, how to work together better. I think our business will now stop. So I think create a culture that focus on teamwork is really important. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, back to Toastmasters.
Okay, this is the last question. I will choose someone for Macau. Shirley from Macau. Can you choose a topic? Can you choose a topic? Shirley, are you there?
Hello.
Can you choose a topic? 19 is out already. Table topic 19 is out. Choose 9 or 14. Shirley, can you choose table topic 9 or 14?
I choose 9. Thank you.
Okay. The topic is the speed of the boss is the speed of the team.
Okay, got it. As we know, one people can work fast, but only a team can work long. So I think the speed of the boss is the speed of the team. Team has the spirit of gathering. People who have lost a relationship can just push them to go a long way. And in this journey, we can just help each other. We can hold on each other. We can learn from another people. Just like the Chinese saying, three people together, there must be a teacher. So I think the speed of the boss is the speed of the team, and we should grow up from the people around us. Just like the theory, you are the average of the people, the 5 people around you. So if you just approach some people excellent, so you can be excellent. So if you want to be a good person, you want to change yourself, just give yourself more challenge, and you will be more competent. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. And I will hand over the meeting to the toast. Before I hand over the meeting to the Toastmaster of the meeting, it's always a very exciting portion. Wow, a long page we have. There's a voting. All right, just click the one that you prefer is the best table topic speaker for tonight. We have a long list tonight, 2 pages. Wow.
Can you all see the voting? Because so far only 2 Toastmasters, 3, 4. Okay, the votes keep counting. Hope you can all see it and cast your vote. Or remain silent forever.
Let the vote begin, man. Panos, I'm in already. Yes, you
Let
need to choose 2, Jenny. Please choose 2 votes, 2 polls, 2 columns.
So far we got 10 votes out of 34. So that's 29%. Come on, you can do better than that.
Okay. Welcome, Doreen. Welcome, Shanshan. Shanshan is online on the phone.
Those of you, I see some input in the chat. Consider updating your Zoom application on your computer or your mobile, because voting tends to be, it's a rather new feature. So if you can't use the voting window, it might be because your application version is out of date. Do consider doing that. We got 58%, 61%. It feels like the national lottery to be able to witness the voting from the background, but by all means, exercise your right to vote. We're missing 13 votes, we're gonna leave the voting open for another, let's say 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds to go to create some sense of urgency. Cast your vote or remain silent forever. All right, 10 seconds to go. Nearly all votes are in. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna end the poll now. And help me congratulate tonight's table topics winner by majority vote. Put your hands together for Toastmaster Autumn Chen.
No, Toastmaster Mona. It's Toastmaster Mona on the second page.
Oh, how many? Oh,
she override her club president.
So there was a second page. All right. So all right. Let's see. Very, very close. All right. So first of all, let's congratulate Mona on winning tonight's Best Table Topic Awards. And since we are Toastmasters, let's all congratulate the second place winner, which is Autumn. So now you know, in Toastmasters competitions, there's a second place. So here's to Mona and Autumn. Congratulations, ladies. Now we're gonna take a small break, but before we go on a break, I would ask you for 1 minute time, don't leave your computers, so that we all get aligned as to the speaking order and the order of evaluations, because we're about 40 people in this room. So let's make sure we got the agenda down for the second part, okay? So we're gonna take a 10-minute break. Is that all right with everyone?
Before you take a break, please switch off your video for something. It's the culture of the Singapore Online Club. We have always a culture.
So we're gonna take a photograph. Are we gonna take a photograph?
Yes.
Okay. Then
or something. Take a soft toy or something.
I go ahead.
Those of you that would like to use a prop, like a soft toy or a surfing duck, then feel free to use it, or just smile for the camera.
Go on. I think there's some already is trying to get some.
All right, who is taking the picture? Gerald, are you?
Willie is taking, I think.
Willie is taking it. All right, just tell us when to
Willie
smile.
once you're done.
Done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can have a break. Have a ticket.
Hey, Willie.
All right, welcome back everyone after our short meeting, and I can't wait to listen to the prepared speeches tonight. We got the speaking order and all the evaluators waiting in line to listen to you actively and then provide you with their evaluation. We all get to learn from each other in a cohesive manner. So it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's first evaluator. That will be Toastmaster Winnie Tong for Toastmaster Abdul. So Winnie, the floor is yours.
So I should care of the speech target of Abdul, and he need to act his feedback received from the first speech. But I don't know what kind of presentations he performed last time, so I will recall some of the tips that I could have this time and send it to Abdul. So I hope I could have the speech going on soon, only by efforts. Please.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Let me introduce your speech, Abdul. So help me welcome Abdul. Only by effort, Toastmaster Abdul.
Yes, hello. How you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdul. I am from New York. Today, I want to talk about putting your effort in life. The reason why I picked this topic, effort, is because what I went through in my lifetime when I came to America at the age of 7, going to school, I realized that as you get older, life gets tougher, it gets harder. And I went through a lot of learning process with my reading and writing and academic in school and stuff like that. I came to realize at this age, after 30 years old, why I didn't get what I want in life, or why I didn't learn what I need to learn. For example, about my reading, my writing, academic, concentration, and focus. So I came to realize that the more you put effort, the better and easier it's going to be. At first, it's going to get tough and harder, but it only takes about 1%, just 1% effort a day. Every day you put 1%, that itself increases day by day. For example, in a week, there is 7 days. So think about it. If you put 1% effort in 1 week, that equals to 7%. So what does that tell you? That's a lot. So if you put that in 2 weeks, that says what? 14%. So think about it. It adds up after a while. In 1 month, it's more than that. In 1 year, it equals to 365 days and effort by 1%. So imagine, just think about it. Just put those efforts every day. Don't think about it. Just do it. It's all right, you make a mistake. It happens. We only succeed by our failures. That's the only way we succeed. Without our failures, there's not even the first step by 1%. Okay, for example, how I practice every day, I take a camera on my phone. So I said to myself, today I'm gonna talk about, I don't know, what I had for eat today, for lunch. So I take the recorder on my phone and I record myself 30 to 60 seconds a day. It could be about anything. Talk about anything you want. It could be a friend, it could be your job, your school, anything that interests you. As long as you do it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be the best of the best. You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is put that 1% effort. Effort means a lot to me because without effort, you cannot go nowhere. And by putting your effort, you go to a job or you go to a school or you go to a party or meeting, all they want to see is that you put an effort. Because if you don't put that initiative, that concentration, that teamwork, that effort, they're not going to take you serious. What they're going to do is they're going to walk away from you. So what you're doing is you're doing it to yourself. You're harming yourself. Okay? So you don't want to do that. You want to get in. You want to get into the tune. You want to get to know them. Okay? You want to improve yourself. You know? So remember, guys, I just want to pass this 1% to you guys. Just think about it. Take that advantage of that 1%, how much you can go and how much you can go far in life and improve. Don't try to go and rush to high 10, 20%. It's not gonna work because you have to be realistic. Realistic, I mean realistic. 1% is a big deal. So imagine 1% times 12 or 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That's how you become better every day. So guys, take this opportunity, advantage, and use this 1%. And you tell me how much a difference you made with that 1%. You can use that for Toastmaster. You can use with that for your children, your husband, your wife, your friends, anything. Just put that 1% effort. All right, guys? This is the topic I want to talk about. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
How much of a difference just 1% can make, and how realistic that can be, because even 1% improvement, it is an improvement in the right direction. Thank you for this tip, Toastmaster Abdul. Much appreciated. Moving on now, our second speaker for tonight, Toastmaster Hiren. First of all, we're gonna hear from Hiren's Evaluator all the way from Australia. Help me welcome Toastmaster Paul Mooney. We can't hear you, Paul. Uh-oh. Houston, we have a problem. Or Australia, we have a problem. You are unmuted, but we can't hear you. Okay.
Okay, is that any better?
Yes, congratulations on your IT skills. Okay, then you went back to silent. So I was quick to congratulate you.
Okay. Is that better? Okay, I'll leave the headphones off. Okay, now, my apologies. Now, the purpose of Hiren's project is for him to present a 2 to 3 minute toast in honor of a person or special occasion. It's to be original, and the audience will serve as guests to the toast. It must clearly state the organizational person being honored and be personalized through stories, anecdotes, or quotes relating to the subject. And as I said, I'll be doing a verbal evaluation as well as answering a number of specific questions. So, Mr. Toastmaster, you can please introduce Hiram and his toast to Singapore Online Toastmasters in 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Paul.
Thank you very much. And as I begin, I just try and set things up. As always, let me also try and see my timer so that I have it on the screen. Just give me a moment as I navigate the timer screen. Yes, perfect. All right, so Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Since it is a short speech, I will keep it nice and peppy. It's all about the celebration today. And when I said that what my time, I just want to pause in here. I don't see the clock moving. I hope, and I am party to Willie Lowe's clock. Yes, perfect. Okay. So just to get started with my speech, when I decided to raise the toast, there were several names that came in terms of what I want to raise the toast and what I wanted to celebrate today. So after the great deliberation and thinking through the last 2 weeks in terms of what I wanted to celebrate, I said I don't want to go far. And I want to do it differently. So today I want to raise the toast for this wonderful community of Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. So it is not a person, it is not an individual, but I want to raise this toast to the Singapore Online Toastmaster Club. And why would I want to do that? If you see to it that we started or we got incepted, not so far ago. So it was just about October 2019. So it's not even 6 months. We have about 23 paid members on the roster. So I think something wonderful. So in 6 months, we've scaled up so much. Some of our achievements, again, these speaks for numbers, but you look at the numbers, and I don't want to rattle in the numbers in the slide because you all can see the slide, but look at our achievements. I mean, look at the number of speaking slots, look at the number of evaluation. What's more driving in the slide is, if you look at the number of speaker to number of evaluator, every speaker has had an evaluator. And I think that's the commendable part, and that is what we want to raise in the toast, that it's not that people speak and then leave. It is just that every speaker has an evaluation. So while the numbers speak for itself, this is a commendable achievement to the club that we want to raise the toast. What else do I want to raise the toast? So more important that we have, in the 6 months of inception, we have 4 of our goals met. And the year is not over, guys. So the year is not over. We still have 6 more months to go, and we can achieve accolades through the achievement for all of us. So that is what another commendable achievement. The biggest one, which is my favorite, is that this opportunity or this platform is given to a blessed Toastmasters, because for Toastmasters it is the speaking skill. So in times of virus like this, we still are able to speak. So if I look at it from when I started in Jan, this is already my 6th speech over these several weeks. So such a commendable achievement that when we are running for deadlines for June 2020, we are still able to achieve our speeches. So I think one of the greatest work that we are doing. And finally, the best of the lot. My last one and the best of the lot is that I want to raise the toast to all of us. We have a large diversity. I mean, imagine I'm sitting in UK and my evaluator today is evaluating me from Australia. So, huge time difference. It's afternoon for me, but it is midnight for my evaluator. So such a wide canvas we have. So it's raising the toast. And last but not the least, raising the toast also to this one individual who relentlessly make it forward. So our Toastmaster, Willie, who just ensures that we're all connected, we're all bound. I'm sure that he has a team that runs it for us, but it is bringing everyone together and making this a celebratory affair on a Friday evening, afternoon, or morning, as we would be for some of us. So with that, I would like to conclude and just raise the toast for Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiren. And I see your evaluator in the background raising his glass as well in a toast for all the achievements. There's one added dimension: consistency. So consistency is also one of the key attributes to this club when it comes to quality, when it comes to volunteering, and all those other aspects that keep us returning to this online meeting room. Thank you, Toastmaster Hiren. Now, coming up next, we will have the pleasure of listening to a storytelling speech from Toastmaster Autumn Chen, and her evaluator, yours truly, will have the pleasure of introducing the speech objectives. So Toastmaster Autumn tonight will be giving us a speech from the storytelling manual, project number 2, Let's Get Personal. This is a 6 to 8 minute speech, so meeting timer, please take note of that. And the main objective is for Autumn to share an original story based on her personal experience. So with no further ado, Autumn Chen, when the wind rises. When the wind rises, Autumn Chen.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Before the speech, I want to ask all of you a question. Do you know how many strangers we will meet every single day? The average number is 300. We will meet 300 strangers every day, maybe in the coffee shop, on the street, or in the train. No facial expressions, no eye contacts, no conversations. For me, they were like 300 robots. And if any of them stared at me for more than 1 second, I would doubt there must be something wrong with me. Is my hair crazy? Or there is a rise on my face? Do I look especially weird today? Then this guy came to me with a big smile. Do you want to lose weight? Please join our gym. Well, I guess there was something wrong with me after all. So I preferred to keep distance from strangers, just to make my days easier. But sometimes, when the sky became gloomy and the wind started to rise, I stood on the street, looking at the passengers walking by. They were all cold like robots, and none of them would even notice me. At that point, no matter how many clothes I put on that day, I felt extremely cold. Have you ever felt that way before? And it seemed there was nothing we could do to make a difference. It was another cold day. I was writing a paper in a coffee shop. From time to time, I would look around, and after a while, I noticed something weird, maybe even dangerous. A woman sitting next to me was staring at an old lady in a red dress. What did she want from an old lady? Money? House? Gold teeth? When I was still searching for the answer, the woman started to write a note. I couldn't help to take a peek. And the note said, "You look so beautiful in your red dress today. You look so beautiful in your red dress today." Then she passed the note to the old lady in a red dress. The old lady received it. She read the note and smiled, like the warmest sunshine, and she replied, "Thank you. You made my day." That note did not only make her day, it also made mine. Sometimes the warmth did not come from the sunshine. It could also come from a totally stranger. I realized there was something we could do to make a different day. Recently, I moved to a new city, a beautiful place, but totally strange for me. Every morning, I took a taxi by Didi, which is Uber in China, to work. And one morning, after I called a taxi, I noticed something different. You know, in the order page, you could see a lot of information, such as the car's plate, the taxi's color, and also the photo of the driver. But this time, there was also a tiny crown above the photo. It was a birthday crown. Aha! It is the taxi driver's birthday. Should I say happy birthday to him? When should I say it? Did it awkward for a stranger to say that? When I was still thinking, the taxi has arrived. Hi. Hi. We both greeted politely but distantly. He's a middle-aged man, probably about 40-ish, and he seemed a little shy. And I could hear a voice shouting in my head, "Come on, say it, just 2 words. How awkward could it be?" So I breathed in and happy birthday. No response. Totally silent. How awkward could it be? Well, very. After 10 seconds, he replied, "Excuse me, are you talking to me?" Wow, now it's super awkward. The data online must be incorrect. It was not even his birthday. Now he must have thought I was kind of freak. I tried to explain. "Oh, sorry, the app showed it's your birthday today." He said, "Oh, really? Well, maybe, I don't know. I couldn't remember my birthday." "You don't remember your own birthday?" "Well, yeah, too busy with work. I haven't celebrated birthday for many years, and now I couldn't remember anymore. But yeah, probably it is today. Thank you." He didn't finish the whole sentence, but I could hear it somehow. It was, "Thank you, you made my day." And it also made my day. There are so many things we could do to make a different day. Give a simple compliment, start a friendly conversation, or share an umbrella with a totally stranger in a rainy day. You might feel a little awkward in the first beginning, but if you actually try, you will see how it will make your day. When I got off the taxi, the wind started to rise again. But this time, I felt incredibly warm. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Autumn, for this heartwarming speech. And it is my wish to you that you manage to keep this warm feeling with you for a long, long time, perhaps even forever. Our next speaker will be Alicia, and evaluating Alicia tonight, we have Toastmaster Thevi, who is waving in the background. So help me welcome Toastmaster Thevi as the next evaluator. Would you briefly introduce Alicia's project with a few words, Thevi?
If I could access it, do you think you can do that for me, please? Because I really cannot access it.
I'll do it with pleasure. Thank you, Thevi. So tonight, Alicia will be giving us a speech from the Specialty Speeches Manual. That will be project number 4 from this manual, and it's called Read Out Loud. This is a 12 to 15 minute speech, and Alicia's objectives are to read using the elements of oral interpretation, to use her voice and her body as instruments of communication. So having said that, and seeing that there's something being shared in the background, all right, so glad to see that this is relevant to the speech. So help me welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Alicia. Never fear, Alicia.
Mr. Chairman, friends, I want to say how delighted I am this morning to be able to join you in presenting these scholarships to 10 students, $100 each, and not only to Indian students. The money probably came from all Indians because they are members of your mission, but the scholarships are also being given to Malays and to Chinese too. It is these little gestures that make for harmony and understanding. I remember reading not so long ago about some special scholarships they were going to name after one of their leaders in Malaya. And they were going to get everybody to contribute. But the scholarships were only for one group. It makes life a rather difficult and trying business. But that is now no longer our business. We cannot interfere. We mind our own affairs. But I say, nonetheless, as Dr. Ismail has said in Canberra, and he is an honest man who said that one day these two territories will come back again, but under very different circumstances and different conditions. And he was an honest man to say that if Singapore remained in Malaysia, there would be language and race riots in 1967. He said that. I did not say that. He said, and it was reported in Canberra. I got the newspapers sent back to me because Singapore was setting the example in tolerance, multilingualism, multiracialism, a multi-religious, multicultural society. And there are some people whose grasp of history is somewhat limited. And they are the people who shout these slogans: one race, one religion, and one language. It worries me. I think they ought to see the optician and put on their glasses. Then they will know there are many races, racial groups, but one nationality. I think they ought to see the ear specialist because obviously the ears are not hearing properly. Or they will know that we speak many languages. And they will know that today, Sunday, Christians go to church. Friday, Malays go to their mosque. Indians have Thai-Pusan, Deepavali, and their ceremonial occasions. So with Buddhists, so with Seventh-day Adventists, on a Saturday. And what is wrong about that? We will set the example. This country belongs to all of us. We made this country from nothing, from mud flats. It is man, human skill, human effort, which made this possible. You came, you worked for yourselves, yes. But in the process, your forefathers and my forefathers who came here, we built this civilization. It is one of the few cities in Asia where you can get anything you want. You pick up the telephone, it works. It not only works internally, you can pick up the telephone and speak to Delhi, London, Tokyo, Canberra, anywhere you want. Do you think you can do that just by shouting slogans? You can get the best in any of the hotels in meal. European food, you can get the best in any of the hotels in town. Chinese food, what kind do you like? There is Cantonese, Hokkien, and Teochew. Indian food, there are South Indian, North Indian, anything you like. Malay food, you like Sumatran food, nasi padang? Where else in the world can you get this? And I say, we will progress. I was sad But because Singapore was going to suffer, no. I was sad because by this separation, we could not help millions of our own people, our own countrymen in Malaya, in Sabah, in Sarawak, to progress with us. That was why I was sad. We could not help them anymore. They have now got to help themselves. They have got to throw out their own leaders, and they have got to take a stand. We cannot interfere. Here in Singapore, in 10 years, Geylang Serai will become another and better Queenstown. All the shacks will be demolished. I say that for Singapore because I do not think Singapore is boasting when he says it can do it. It will do it. But do you think in 10 years, the kampongs in Malaya will have Queenstowns? I do not think so. If you want that, then you must have the trust, the ideas, the dynamism, the push, the tolerance of each other. That is why I was sad for them, who are our people. Not just Chinese and Chinese, Indians and Indians. There are many Malays here. Half of our police comes from Malaya. Their families are left behind. They will be quartered. They will live in modern civilized conditions. Their families will come down here and they will want to stay with them. And we will have to say no, because there is a limit to what we can absorb. We have only got 214 square miles. It is a cruel thing to do this, but it has to be done. Some people wanted it this way. We could have helped them emerge, but it was not to be. But I can say to you, here we make the model multiracial society. This is not a country that belongs to any single community. It belongs to all of us. You helped build it. Your fathers, your grandfathers helped build this. There was no naval base here. It is not the British who built it. It was your labor, your father's labor, which built that. My great-grandfather came here and built. Yes, he came here looking for his fortune. He stayed. My grandfather was born here. Over 100 years ago, this was a mud-flat swamp. Today, this is a modern city. 10 years from now, this will be a metropolis. Never fear. Some people think that just because we are a small place, they can put the screws on us. It is not so easy. We are a small place in size and geography, but in the quality of the men, the administration, the organization, the metal, in the people, the fiber. Therefore, don't try. That is why we got booted up. If they could just squeeze us like an orange, squeeze the juice out, I think the juice would have been squeezed out of us, and all the goodness would have been sucked away. But it was a bit harder, wasn't it? It was more like the durian. You try and squeeze it, your hand gets hurt. And so they say, right, throw out the durian. But instead, the durian is a very useful ingredient, high protein, and we will progress. 40%, more than 40% of the purchasing power of the whole of Malaysia is in Singapore. We may be 20% of the population of Malaysia, but purchasing power, the capacity to buy goods like microphone, clocks, drinks, fans, lights, television, transistors, the money is here because here they work. And if people do not want that 40% to 44%, well, that is their business. We want to open the market to them. Buy if they do not want it. We will make our own soap. We are buying soap from Pattaya Jaya, Lux. You know, it is always advertised on TV, Lever Brothers. It is no harm. We buy the soap. It is good for them. It is good for us. We can make motor cars together for the whole of Malaysia. And never forget, if it came to a point, then Lever Brothers may have to set up a soap factory here. Because after all, nearly half the sales are in Singapore. You ask the Straits Times, what percentage of the newspaper is sold in Singapore? True, we are only 2 million, but we have the highest literacy rate in the whole of Asia. Nearly half of Straits Times, if not more, is sold here. Here, everybody buys a copy. There, maybe one kampong buys one copy and everybody looks at it. It is true. We are talking now in terms of hard cash, the hard facts of life. And if people want to be hard on us, then we have got to survive. And we can keep this market to ourselves. But this is all short-sighted. Let us throw our eyes over the horizon into the future. What does our Dr. Ismail say? This will come back again, but under very different circumstances and different conditions. You know, and I know, that anybody who says, go back to Malaysia on the same circumstances will be called a lunatic, isn't it? We were very patient. We were tolerant. We could not give in. So, as a result, we are out. History is a long process of attrition. It will go on. And one day, it will come back together. You see, this is not a map. And you can take a pair of scissors and cut off Singapore, and then take it, paste it in South Pacific, and forget about it. It is not possible. This is part of the mainland, of the continent of Asia. And that causeway, you know, the Japanese blew it up. It was still rebuilt. It is part of history, and you are part of history. You are part of this place as much as I am, as much as Ichi of Man Walk, my colleague, is, and I say that is the way, and it will be in the end. Finally, may I congratulate you for having made progress since I last visited your mission in 1963, and especially commend you for having made a symbolic gesture in giving scholarships not just to Indians, but Indians who contributed to the Narayana mission took this money and gave it to Malay and Chinese students as well. In that way, we must prosper. And I guarantee you, if you talk, there will be a constitution which we will get redrawn, in which minority rights, you know, it is very easy in Singapore for people to stand up. And if you talk, one race, one language, one religion, there will be a lot of trouble, you know. We do not want that sort of thing. That is stupidity. So we are going to get the Chief of Justice of India, Australia, New Zealand, and a few others to come together with our own Chief Justice, and a few of our eminent lawyers to draft entrenched clauses. You know, entrenched. No government can just cancel the clauses. Entrenched and enforceable. If anybody thinks he is being discriminated against, either for flat or scholarship, or a job, or for social welfare relief, because of race, language, or religion, he can go to the court, take out a writ, and if he proves that it was because of discrimination on the ground of race, language, religion, culture, then the court will have to enforce the Constitution and ensure minority rights. We are an equal society. You are equal to me. I am equal to you. Nobody is more equal than others. In some places, they say we are all equal. But what they mean is they are more equal, you see, which makes life very difficult. But here, when we say equal, we really mean it. You do not have to do it in Singapore. But we are thinking in terms of 100 years, 200 years, 1,000 years. You must help them emerge. And there is only one way: education and economic trust. And with those words, I wish you all peace, prosperity in Singapore. Thank you.
This is one of those rare moments that I myself, sitting on the other side of the world, it seems, get to witness firsthand the wealth, the cultural and human wealth that exists in Asia and in places that might feel distant geographically, but in terms of human values now feel closer to me than ever. So this was eye-opening. Phrases like nobody is more equal to others. So the richness of understanding that exists all over the world. And I hope that we get to embody those values in our daily conduct, not just as Toastmasters, but as human beings. So thank you again for your speech, Alicia. You have given me personally, and I believe I speak on behalf of all of us, you have given us a lot of food for thought. I see some thumbs up in the background, and I appreciate that. Those I will be keeping. Thank you, Toastmaster Alicia. Now we're gonna move on to our next speaker tonight, Toastmaster Margaret, and help me welcome Dennis as Margaret's evaluator. So Toastmaster Dennis, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Tonight, Margaret is working out of Pathways, Path Strategic Relations, and her project is Understanding Vocal Variety. It's going to be a 5 to 7 minute presentation, and she's supposed to present a well-organized speech on any topic, and she's supposed to listen to how the member, we're supposed to listen on how the member uses her voice to communicate or enhance her speech, and the speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. And it is not supposed to be a report on just understanding vocal variety. Speech is 5 to 7 minutes long. Mr. Toastmaster, you can introduce the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dennis, serving as Margaret's evaluator. So put your hands together to welcome on stage Toastmaster Margaret to give or take to give or take, Toastmaster Margaret.
Thank you, Panos. Where is the timer?
This is an excellent question. The timer today seems to have become a precious commodity. So I tell you what, I will be, okay, we have a timer.
Thank you. Thank you. Agent 001 to Agent 002. I see the aisle is clear. Agent 002, the target is in sight. On the count to 3, we close in on the target. 1, 2, 3. We got it. We close in on the target. We got our target. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Club President Willie Low and all my friends from all over the world. How is people reacting to COVID-19? It's with fear, growing terror. Fear. What is fear? Fear is an emotion. Fear is irrational. Fear is driving people to hoard food items and essential supplies, driving people to punch you in the face just by the color of your skin. Friends, at a time like this, do you give or take? A close friend was in a suspected cluster. For days, she didn't answer my phone calls. Who was it? Who was it? I don't know. I called her husband. Where is Sylvia? She is very sick and I can't be with her. I have to stay home. The tears swelled up his throat and he choked. I miss her so much. Tears swelled and rolled down my eyes. Will she recover? Will she die? Will I be infected? Oh no! Madam, this is the Ministry of Health. I'm an officer that's been appointed in your contact tracing. You have to serve the quarantine order with immediate effect. But I didn't have time to stock up my supplies. My family asked me questions. I asked myself questions. Why did I have to meet her? Why wasn't I careful? Why me? It was the darkest days of my life. Who can I confide in? Will I be infected? Will my family be infected? I just prayed. I read my Bible. My own friends sent me words of encouragement. They got to know that I was served the quarantine order. They sent me exercise videos. Some sent home-cooked food at my door. Some left flowers with notes of encouragement. The silver lining, bright clouds filtered through the silver lining. I'm thankful for those who braved the unknown, bearing their gifts. Sylvia has since been discharged and has returned home to make a full recovery. Do we give or do we take? 14 days pass. No fever, no cough. No sore throat. End of the quarantine. I'm a free woman. Yay! I'm back. As I was rushing to the office on the first day out, my neighbors shut the lift in my face. At the office, my colleagues walked out of the room when I entered. Clients postponed our meeting despite a confirmation. Wait, guys, I'm all right. I'm back. The fear is real. Fear of this unknown virus. Fear of dying. Fear of isolation. Do we give or do we take? Take the time to take the strides to close the social distance between us. Take the time to remember to remind your family to practice good personal hygiene. Take a look at your kitchen pantry and plan responsibly. Give. Give a hand to the elderly reaching out for that packet of noodles on the top shelf. Give. Give a part of your heart in this time of uncertainty. Give. Give a smile that always warms the cold stares. If you can still give nothing more, give a smile. And in these challenging times, and make this world a better place. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Margaret, for your hopeful message. Although we cannot control the reactions of others at a time like this, as we heard in your speech, we can at least control our intention during those times and contribute to the best of our abilities into making this day perhaps a bit better. So thank you for your hopeful message.
Thank you.
Our next speaker tonight will be Toastmaster Dennis. And evaluating Dennis will be Toastmaster Angela. So before we get to Dennis's speech, I would like to hear from Angela, who I am inviting to the stage to share a little bit of what we need to know for Dennis's speech objectives. Angela, you're good to go.
Have the specific objectives, so I've been asked to review as I heard you, as I saw you, and as I reacted. If Dennis has anything else he wants me to look at, I would like him to tell me and you so that we can all look out for it. His speech is going to be from an educational presentation, 10 to 15 minutes, so there'll be a lot to watch for.
It's actually going to be 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Ah, so it's been changed from what I see in front of me.
Yes, I did change it.
8 to 10, thank you. And is there anything else we should know?
Nope.
Okay. On that note, thank you, Toastmaster Angela, and help me welcome on stage Toastmaster Dennis. What do we look like? What do we look like? Toastmaster Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What do we really look like to the rest of the world, especially in the online world? And that's basically my presentation today, is going to be how we can improve our image as we are sitting in front of our screen and as people are looking at us. You know, when we go on to give a regular speech, when we're with our regular people, we're all regular. When we are at a regular meeting with people in the same room, you always try to prepare yourself, make sure your hair is in place. For us guys, we make sure our ties are straight and that type of thing. But when we are on an online meeting, do we take the same amount of effort to try to prepare ourselves? That's what I want to talk to you as, what do we really look like? All right, one of the first things is, how do we appear to the world on the other side of our camera? What do we look like? Are we too close to the screen, as in the picture to the left, where there's an extreme close-up and all you see is the person's eyes? Or are we standing farther back, as more like the wide shot on the right picture, where we're quite a distance away from the camera? That's one thing that we really need to be looking at when we are sitting in front of our screens. Look at what the gallery view is showing of your particular face and how you are projected to the rest of the audience. Better way of positioning your camera is to have a close-up, where the picture on the left shows that the person's head is, the full head is there, but there's also some background behind that person. Or maybe even have yourself a little bit farther away from the screen, where there's the medium close-up, where there's more of the torso showing besides the top, from the top of your head, maybe to about your chest level. And this is probably best for us as speakers, because you can then show your gestures. If you were in the close-up view and I was sitting really close, you wouldn't be able to see very many gestures without raising my hands up high. But if I'm sitting farther back, like in the medium close-up, I can have gestures and raise it up to my shoulder level and still be able to show gestures, instead of having to raise it up to my eye level if I was sitting in the close-up view. Now, one of the things that's coming up in another week or two is speech contests. And for us in the online world, we are concerned about doing it online. And so you need to be very aware of your camera positioning. It's going to be much different from most of the way we're sitting right now. Most of us are sitting right in front of our screen, away from the screen. But if you're going to be giving an online, be in a speech contest mode, then you need to make sure that the audience can see the rest of you, so that you're not just sitting in front of a camera. People can see the rest of your body. And depending on the type of presentation that you're giving, you may want to move around a lot. So you want to position the camera more like the wide shot, so that you can see the rest of you. One thing to be cautioned of is your audio quality. If you have the camera farther away and the microphone is connected to your camera, then you will be sounding like a little bit tinny or in a barrel, because the audio level will be much lower. So in order to get around that, you might want to consider having a remote microphone that you can be attached right to your collar, or have what's called a shotgun mic, which is a directional microphone with some amplification, so that your audio is still at a higher level instead of sounding like you're 30 feet away, which you might be in this case. I'm going to put in this disclaimer here. Some of my pictures are not the best of me. I took these pictures late at night, so I may be looking a little bit sleepy, but look at the overall presentation. That is my disclaimer for today. What I'm doing right now is showing you two pictures of the two cameras that I have in front of me. When I first started joining these online meetings, you would see my face like the picture on the left. And that picture is from my laptop camera. And the picture on the right is after I changed cameras and put on a Logitech camera, which is also sitting right on top of my laptop screen. They're actually, in both pictures, I am one arm's length away. But if you can see, due to the focal length and of the lens of the camera, in the picture to the left, you can only see this much of me. But with this camera to the picture to the right, you can see a lot more of me. So that's something to consider, is the type of camera that you have. Okay, this is a picture of the camera that I have on my right now that you're viewing. It has a microphone built into it, and it also has some speakers built into it also. So it does two things. It improves the visual view of me, plus it also improves the audio quality of my presentation. Now, besides having your face framed properly, you want to also make sure you have enough light on you. The picture on the left shows with no light projecting on to me, and I looked really dark. And I think if you look at some of the other people in our room or virtual room, you'll see that some of us are a little bit dark. Now on the picture on the right shows with me with a little bit of extra lighting. Also, it's showing that I have some color, like it has changed the color of my face. Depending on the type of lights you use, that will happen. So you need to be aware of the type of lighting that you use. And speaking of lighting, this is what I'm using right now. I have 2 LED ring lights that are positioned in front of me, and I'll show you that in a moment. But these lights are relatively inexpensive. I purchased these, I think I got them from Amazon, and for $33 US dollars. They're USB powered, and you can adjust the intensity and the color in them. And this is how I have them positioned. If you look at my screen, right in the middle, that oval is actually supposed to be a person. If you look really carefully, there's a little thing here that's the person's nose. Straight down here, this dark black object is a camera. And off to the left and to the right, there are my lights. So if you were my lights, I'm going to point to they are actually in front of me right now, above and pointing down toward me. And that's how I'm lit right now. I'll give you a quick demonstration with them off. And this is without my lights. You can see the difference. So it does make a difference of how much lighting you have. And I said you can also change the color. The lights that I have will change colors, and you can see that the picture on the left is more of the LED, the whiteness of an LED light, and the one to the right has more of a, they call it warm white in lighting technology. That's what I have on that, which is not really the best way for me to show myself. So it's better for me to have more of a white light than to have this more of a yellow light. Now, behind me, sometimes, depending on where you're sitting, you may have a lot of junk in the room that you don't want people to see. And that's exactly what I have behind me. So that's why I'm hiding it with a green screen. The benefit of having a green screen, besides hiding your material, is that you can also change your background so that you can have something else be displayed behind me. I'm not being able to change that at the moment, but I'll show you later when I do get back to my regular screen. But what I have behind me is this large screen. It costs roughly $40 US, and it is 5 feet by 6.5 feet, or roughly 1.5 meters by 2 meters in size. So it can easily hide anything behind me. It's actually physically only a couple inches behind me. And it also is called chroma key green. If you look, I'll show you in a moment. When you add the background, you need to make sure that you have, or let me back up. This is how you change it. Right now, I'm using the PC version of Zoom. And if you go to the bottom of your screen, you'll see that there is a picture of a camera, and then there's a kind of up caret. And if you click on that, you'll see a box. And if you click on the box, you will be able to get this other screen off to the right. And this is where it allows you to change your background. And all you need to do is have nice backgrounds, either a JPEG file or a PNG file, and you can capture that and display it right behind you with green screen. And tonight, it was not my intent to make you spend a lot of money. And these are suggestions to help you improve what you have, improve what you look like with what you already have. And if we want to be the pioneers of the online Toastmasters world, we need to look professional. So hopefully with some of these suggestions, we can all look a little bit more professional when we take the matrix picture of everybody in our Toastmasters room. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dennis, for ensuring that we do not just represent ourselves the best way possible by using our speaking skills effectively, but we also, let's say, put ourselves in the best possible light when the camera is on in the online world. Thank you. And by the way, I would like to comment on Dennis's willingness to give advice on those topics, because Dennis was one of the first fellow Toastmasters that gave me a set of guidelines when I first came online. And now I see that for the benefit of all, you have put all your knowledge, or a good chunk of your knowledge, into a presentation for us. So let's take Dennis's advice from experience and do the best we can for the entire club to look as professional as possible. And again, thank you, Dennis. Now we're gonna move on to tonight's last speaker, Toastmaster Sanshan, and introducing the speech objectives for Sanshan, help me welcome Toastmaster Margaret, back on stage as an evaluator this time. Margaret, take it away. Margaret, we can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Now we can.
All right, okay. Good evening, everyone, again. And Shanshan, the purpose of your project is to practice using a story within a speech, or giving a speech that is a story. And the speech title is, Panos, you're gonna read out the speech title? Or shall I?
I do. So thank you for introducing the objectives. And now help me welcome the next speaker, Shanshan, growing up, Toastmaster Shanshan.
How many of you are born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, entered the workforce in the 2000s, and yet you are considered young? You haven't hit the mid-century yet, you haven't hit the century of, you haven't even hit half the century yet, and yet you have already gone through 3 decades of life. At least 3 to 4 decades of life. Now, most of my childhood are actually in the swimming pool because of the swimming lessons. Parents really want you to learn swimming safety, and they really throw you on the deep end. I remember during one of my primary school days, we were having swimming lessons, and one of the swimming lessons is to jump in at the deep end of the pool. And the senior swimmers are inside the pool, waiting to catch you in case there's something happens. But as you know, I really don't like the deep end because I cannot touch the floor. It's too deep for me at that time. Unless I grew up until when I hit 1.75 meters, at least I can still touch the floor. But at that time, to a 6-year-old, the deep end is really deep end. Cannot touch the floor. Cannot even stand. And you see the pool is like, no thanks. And some of you wonder, you spend so much time swimming, how come you never ended up in being a swimming athlete? I will say, nah, I just swim for fun. And I'm too lazy to keep on swimming because I would rather swim the 25 meter. That means I don't swim the whole length. I swim the other way. That means I swim across the pool instead of swimming from one end to another straight up. No, I swim across the pool just to cut short of the distance I need to swim. How many of you have that feeling that once you are ready to start swimming and you're so eager to get out of the pool? Of course, as you grow up, you need to start primary school, you need to start schooling. And in primary school, when you have an elder brother that's 4 years ahead of you, and you have a younger brother that's 5 years younger than you, and you all ended up in the same primary school and ended up with the same teacher, what do you get? You get comparisons between the 3 of you. Because the same teacher that teaches your elder brother teaches you and teaches your younger brother as well. So, and the complaint is that I'm bad at studying mathematics. I have very bad handwriting. And it's true, my handwriting really sucks, or really have gone down ever since technology that everything is done on a computer. Even my script, frankly speaking, is done on a laptop after editing through Grammarly. So I did well enough to pass through my primary school examinations. And of course, the complaint is that why can't you pass your score so well that you can get into a better secondary school instead of a neighborhood secondary school? After all, you have been through a top primary school, and that primary school you are is the top of the top, cream of the crop. There is no other primary school like that in Singapore already. Okay, there is, but I'm not the type to study. I can't even sit down and study. The moment I open a textbook, bam, I'm asleep on the table, fast asleep, snoring away. And textbook bore me so much that I can literally fall asleep during exam time while writing halfway. I seriously fell asleep during exams, yet I managed to do enough exams to get into secondary school, pass my A-levels, pass my O-levels, and ended up in the Institute of Technical Education, or in Singapore we call it the ITE, where I managed to pass accounting, maths, or anything that do with finance, I can pass it. And I joined the student council. I was tasked to plan a program for the volunteer trip that we had. And from there, I managed to score enough of the grade that was required for Polytechnic and to study business information. And you are wondering, business information, it doesn't really tally with the job that you have now, because I ended up in the travel industry. Travel industry, business information, there is no link, because what I do is more on the package tours. Continuing down, my dad actually still asks me sometimes, why can't you study and go on to the normal route? Because in Singapore, frankly speaking, the normal route is primary school, secondary school, junior college. For the guys, army. For the ladies, university. Then for the guys, university. So this is the normal route. For me, it's primary school, secondary school, ITE, poly. So what I want to really say is each child is really different because they have their own personality, they have their own way of studying. So if you really compare, you can't really compare, because sometimes the middle child feels left out. The middle child will feel they have a very serious case of FOMO, fear of missing out. How many of you have this feeling if you're a middle child, that you have this fear of missing out thing that the elder brother have, the younger brother have, but you don't have? Or something that the elder or younger siblings have that you don't have. So that is where it is very tricky for the middle child. And I may or may not have developed the middle child syndrome, where the FOMO comes out, fear of missing out. So ladies and gentlemen, before I end my speech, I want to say that do not compare each child. How many children you have, do not compare them. Just let them grow together and they will eventually come to the state that they want to. Well, I did enter university. I did study university, and I ended up studying tourism and hospitality management. So thank you. Back to you, Panos.
Thank you, Shan, for reminding us that there is practically no such thing as ultimate normal. You followed your normal in life, and you still are, and we shall discover our own personal normal in life. this brings us to the end of the prepared speeches section for tonight's meeting. We've had 7 speakers on stage tonight. And if our meeting host, Willie, can hear us, he might give us a chance to vote on tonight's best speaker. I wonder if the voting poll has been set up so we can get to vote on the best speaker before. Yes! Please cast your vote. There are a few names that should not be on the list because they did not speak tonight. So filter out the names then. The fellow Toastmasters eligible for being voted for are Abdul, Hiran, Autumn, Alicia, Margaret, Dennis, and Shanshan. So seven names really. Abdul, Hiran, Autumn, Alicia, Margaret, Dennis, and Shanshan. Okay, the voting has been on for 1 minute and we only have less than half the votes. Now we have half the votes. So let's keep it on for half a minute more. We got 56% of votes. So is this the best we can do? I wonder. All right, the poll has been on for 2.5 minutes by this time. So we can end the poll now. And okay, something is happening in the background. All right, we can end the poll now and share the results with you. So help me congratulate. Okay. Those of you that have been finding it challenging to cast your vote is because there is a section 2 by mistake with Peter, who could not join us tonight, and number 2. So do cast a vote on section 2. It's not going to count because that is the only way that you will get to submit your vote. And there, okay, there seems to be something happening online in the background because I think that the poll renewed itself. So all right. So cast your vote again, as it seems. It's this is
Okay,
becoming slightly.
Sorry, Toastmaster of the day. Actually, the first vote go to Toastmaster Autumn. Peter vote was a spoiled vote. So, and then I tried to cancel, but it ended up being revoked. So, author Chen is the best prepared speech speaker today. So the vote, yeah, because there's some technical issues there. So, good. Is author still online?
After experiencing some technical difficulties with the online poll, let's all congratulate Toastmaster Autumn Chen on winning tonight's Best Speaker Award. And we can see Autumn on gallery view, so congratulations, Autumn.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was my first time to attend a foreign club. So we learned a lot today. We made a lot of notes, what we can learn from your club. And we will try to make our club better next Thursday. Thank you.
Always happy to be a source of inspiration to other clubs here at the Singapore Online English Toastmasters Club. That brings us formally to the end of the prepared speeches section. And we're gonna have a quick 5-minute break. So all of you that would like to have a bio break or a bite break or any type of break, feel free to do it now. And see you all back in 5 minutes. We can now. Welcome back, fellow Toastmasters from around the globe. Now we are entering the third and final section of tonight's meeting, when we get to hear the designated project evaluators give their oral evaluation to the speakers, and for all of us to learn something new in a cohesive manner. So we're gonna start from the second evaluator, who will be Paul Mooney, Toastmaster Paul tonight, giving us his evaluation for Toastmaster Heeren's speech. Paul, the floor is yours. Help me welcome Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen. The Mastering the Toast speech, I think, is a very important speech in the Legacy Toastmasters program, because it's one of those activities that I think was once practiced in many clubs, but perhaps in more recent years has died out. And I felt that the speech today that Hiram gave was interesting. It was informative. In some ways, it was unusual, and I'll explain why later. But all in all, it was a very effective evaluation. A very effective toast. Now, I like the concept of a collective toast rather than an individual toast, because it provides an opportunity to recognise people and to recognise the group as a whole. In that manual, there's also a speech called The Roast, which is also quite similar, and I think it's often better I think it's better to deal with collectives as well. Now, I felt that Hiram's speech, he had a good, clear voice throughout. He used words that were appropriate to the occasion. They were nice, simple, easy to follow, nothing too technical, nothing too esoteric. I felt that his vocal variety was generally quite effective. The volume and the pitch were really appropriate for the occasion. Again, the language was clear. The language was also upbeat, and I felt that it left me with that feel-good feeling that tells us not just that it was a successful toast, but it also reminds us of how far the club has come in so short a period of time, and how much success has been achieved. And from someone from the outside of the moment, it's nice to get that. It's nice to get that feeling that a job has been well done, and that everything has been praiseworthy. Now, a couple of points that Hiram might like to consider if doing toasts in the future, and maybe some lessons as well for other people who might be leading a toast at either a Toastmasters meeting or a future event. first of all is, in terms of process, I quite often, I would suggest that speakers, including home, should invite people to put liquid in their drinks if they haven't taken the opportunity already. And secondly, then at the end of the toast, to actually perhaps lead a toast. It's perhaps not practical to stand up, but to at least, in fact, raise glasses to the organisation. It just completes the process. My only other thought from the meeting was that vocal variety was perhaps, eye contact was a little bit of a challenge with the on-screen material that was provided. Now, the on-screen material was fantastic. It just, I believe, it may have affected the eye contact and the communication with the audience a little bit. So overall, the very enjoyable exposition of the art of the toast, good clear voice and diction, very uplifting, very effective. Just a couple of issues of process that Hiram and future speakers might like to look at, but all in all, well done. Thank you, Hiram. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Many thanks to you, Paul, for being so thorough and providing actionable feedback. And if between now and the end of the meeting you need to go to bed, we will totally understand. Thank you for joining us online tonight.
I might take advantage, Panos. So good night, all, and we'll see you all in a future meeting.
Good night, Toastmaster Paul. Sleep tight.
Thank you.
Then we will move on to Toastmaster Winnie Tong, who will be evaluating our tonight's first speaker, Toastmaster Abdul. Help me welcome Winnie to the virtual floor.
Hello everyone. Hello Toastmasters tonight. And I'm going to deliver my evaluation to Abdul on the topic only by efforts. Well, Abdul is really a native speaker kind of. I like his pronunciation sound, and the whole speech is very fluent, and especially I think we all know 1% or 2% of 5%, and we all know we have 7 days a week and 30 days a day and 365 days a year. But then the best magic Abdul give us is that he shows us the differences, the process you can make by 1% every day to achieve big differences. He guides you to think about what if 1% and plus the effort by 1 year or 2 years, and then you could say a huge number, then you calculately it appears in your brain. So it's the best thing I think Abdul helps his audience to think about the little efforts. And then I think I will give him three suggestions. Well, Abdul really built us a very good house with very good structure. At the end, he also recorded the 1% efforts to the very beginning of his speech. So it's really a very good structure. But when we look inside the house, what can we find? Oh, we really cannot find anything else except the numbers. So, and what only remains with us after speech is only numbers. We have no pictures, no stories. And that's why you open very beautiful outside video, and you see only blank floors and blank walls inside. So it's better to bring your own stories, and also it's better to make a comparison before you make 1% efforts until you made 2 years efforts. Then you will make our audience know, wow, it's a great thing. So it's make us amazed for the results you have made during a 1% efforts every day. So it will make everybody understand your themes much better, and will guide to a better understanding. We are not having a mathematics classes right now. We want to hear the real story and the real efforts, just as you mentioned. And another thing is it's better to make a little bit more movement in the speech. Although it's online meeting, I noticed that on your left hand is always holding the camera or anywhere, so I can see it also blocked, always blocked in here, and with few movements. So it's better to make just like Dennis suggested, a much more proper distance from you to the camera, and it's better to make more gestures and will keep better understandings for you and the audience. That's my second suggestion. And the third one is to make better preparations, because you mentioned in the beginning you are not or maybe not willing to attend the main speech tonight because you were not better prepared. So I think if you are better prepared and you will review your speech once or twice or 3 times before the meeting starts, you will find the missing part yourself. So that's my evaluations for Abdul. I hope you could do better next time. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Winnie. I personally have no doubt that Abdul will be making good use of your evaluation points so that his next speech will be at least 1% better. Thank you again, Winnie. Now we will move on to the third project evaluation tonight for Toastmaster Autumn's storytelling speech. And since the evaluator is yours truly, I would like to first check if Autumn is in the room. Okay, so...
I'm here, I'm here.
Okay, Autumn is here. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So Autumn, here's to you. Fellow Toastmasters and Toastmaster Autumn. There is a saying in the Toastmasters world. They say, great stories happen to those who can tell them. Great stories happen to those who can tell them. Autumn, tonight, you took us on 2 journeys. You shared 2 stories from everyday life in a way that we were there right next to you along your journey. So starting from a cold day where you felt so distant from the rest of the mankind, and at the same time you experienced the feeling that perhaps you were the weird one, all the way to the warmth of getting to make the day of a taxi driver. Now, what you did very effectively in terms of content is that your stories were relevant to all, and your questions were relevant to us all. We have all experienced those awkward moments, this social awkwardness. I personally could connect with each and every point along the journey of your stories. What you did exceptionally well when it comes to your delivery was that you made excellent use of your facial gestures, showing the awkwardness, depicting the several characters in your dialogue, and making effective use of poses that would temporarily build our anticipation for what would come next. And in terms of language, that is a particularly strong point of yours, it seems, because you could select the words that would transfer us your experience. Rather than talking about it, you would transfer the experience of living your stories. Also, I would like to comment on the way you added a story within a story, So the first time you experienced the awkwardness, but you learned something. And the second story with the taxi driver, you applied what you had learned from your first story. So this built, in my understanding, a natural bond and a transition that made speaking sense to us to combine the two stories in a single speech. Another effective point was that you went full circle by going from cold to warm. And the transition there was the change of your own behavior. There was one point there that I was hoping you would take it to the next level and perhaps also add the robots and the weirdness you were experiencing in the beginning and show also how those were transformed. So for example, you could have said that, and now I see the robots around me in society as fellow human beings that have the potential of changing my day, making my day better just by giving me a simple note. And also the transformation of feeling weird among others, now feeling warm are among other human beings. So I saw that there was this potential there of not just one, but triple closing, you know, from cold to warm, from robots to friends, from weird to fellow human, and just make it bigger than life there in your closing. But all in all, your storytelling skills are very high, and it would be such a pleasure to get to listen to another one of your speeches again in the near future. Thank you, and back to the Toastmaster of the day. Now, moving on to the next evaluation, we have Toastmaster Dennis evaluating Margaret's speech. So I see Dennis in the room and I see Margaret. What a pair. Toastmaster Dennis, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and Margaret. Well, tonight, Margaret was talking out of the strategic relations path, and her project was to use vocal variety, and I think you did that very well tonight. Your topic was a little bit obscure at the very beginning when you said to give or to take, and then you had the characters of these people on radios, and I wasn't sure where you're going with it, but it was kind of interesting how you actually pulled it off. I enjoyed that. And then especially when you pulled out the toilet paper, then we started to figure out, okay, now it's more about the current situation about the coronavirus. So I enjoyed how you put all that together, how you wove it together. It was very, very good. You played several characters in your presentation, and that really enhanced your vocal variety. It gave you a chance to play all these different characters, change your voice, and change everything about it. So I think you did a very good job of creating this project and making it work for you. Everything went very well. Your vocal variety was perfect for everything that you did. So I don't really have any comments or offer suggestions for improvement. I thought you did very well in creating this. I think that more of us should take the effort to have some fun with these topics. Vocal variety can be kind of bland, and we try to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do with vocal variety? But the way you used it and wove it together in this current problem that we're having around the whole world with the coronavirus, and playing with it a little bit, it was very enjoyable. I really liked how you put that together. So I really don't have any strong things for you to improve on. I would suggest just to keep doing what you're doing because it's very good. And continue that. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dennis. Thank you. And thank you also for staying on time, which is something that I'm currently working on. Then we shall move on to the speech from Toastmaster Dennis, who will be evaluated now by Toastmaster Angela. So Angela, you are unmuted and you're ready to fire your evaluation. Welcome, Angela.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Toastmaster President Willie Lowe and all my fellow speakers and evaluators, and welcome guests. Dennis gave us a wonderful speech. It was both an entertainment, but most of all, it was informative. It was a speech that made a difference. Dennis made a difference. Dennis is going to change my life and probably yours. It was a totally topical subject about how we can improve our image online and look more professional. So he told us how to look professional online, and I liked his alliteration. This is what I heard: improve your image. I thought that this could have been the title. It's alliterative and it tells you exactly what he wanted us to do. If I were to make a suggestion about sound, I would suggest he could do two things. One is he could be more enthusiastic, say, this will make you look brilliant, or this will make you look average, this will make you look brilliant. The other thing he could do is he could do some of these sounds and show you echoing sounds and how you turn some item off and turn off your mobile or whatever you do to improve your sound. Now, what did I see? He went straight into the contrasting pictures. I thought he'd put a lot of effort into this, and it made it very clear what he wanted to do sitting at the different distances. He also demonstrated, he got our attention physically by moving his hands. Then we came to the lighting and the really practical information where we could buy lights and how to set them up, and the lovely diagram. Any addition? Yes, I would have liked perhaps, how do you set up the lights if you've got a space in the room behind you rather than a wall? And additional practical information. I was trying to take a photograph of the screen to note down the brands and the position of the lights. I would like to, he gave us very good information. He gave us the brands and he gave us the prices. Two things I think he could have added. One, he could have done a total and said something like, the lights will cost you under $50, the headphones will cost you under $50, 3 items to buy, and the total is under 150. Or he could have said that each of the 3 items can be free, so the total could be free. Do this, do that, and do the other, and it's free. Finally, it would have been very nice to have had the call to action at the end. This is my email, call me if you want a copy of these slides, or call me if you want advice, because I think we all thought he had brilliant, helpful information and we all want to use it. And there was so much of it, it went so fast. It would have been wonderful to have been absolutely sure how to improve our image with the help of the wonderful Dennis. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you, Angela. And this is an excellent point in your evaluation tonight. I believe that when we've gone through the trouble and effort of collecting lots of information on something, we do hold a position of expertise compared to our fellow members. So we can set ourselves as a reference person within the group for certain key activities and area of improvements. So a call to action in the end to connect some more is something of importance in our speeches. So thank you for this point, Angela. Then we're gonna move on to the last, we're gonna move on to Alicia's evaluation from Toastmaster Thevi. Yeah, I see them both waving. What a wonderful moment. So Thevi, I am unmuting you and you're good to go when you're ready. Help me welcome Thevi.
Thank you so much. So Alicia, you appeared back again, just in time. Okay, Alicia, never fear. Well, you have promoted Singapore so much that everyone around the world want to come and live in your country, or at least visit you for a bit. There's so much goodies that you gave out today. And that I want to say, you being a Singaporean, giving the speech, and I'm being a Malaysian, evaluating you. And there's a lot of things came up about Malaysia as well. I want to tell you, I like your clear, crisp voice and your language, your articulation was very good. And and you had your emphasis on some keywords as in you said, I didn't say it, he did. And that was quite powerful, I would say. And I just wished you just continued with that, because you had a lot of punchlines along the way. And as in storytelling, it's very important to have that punchline from time to time to capture and keep us attentive all the while. And your gestures, like correcting your glasses, and that was good as well as other hand gestures. I have a few things to say, like about 3 pointers where I felt you could improve. The first thing being, okay, storytelling is one of my favorite topics, I must say. I love to do that myself. Now, pausing in a story is a very powerful tool. Why? Number one, it gives emphasis to the point that you're trying to raise in the story. And number two, it creates some dramatic effect when you pause. And number three, it gives us time to think about whatever you said. Give us some time to dwell on the pointers that you read out. And also to digest that. The next thing is that I would like to talk to you about is eye contact. And actually, I thought it's not possible to do it online because I've not done this online thing, but I did see Margaret doing that. And it was possible because she did that later on. And I did see that it is possible in online. And I thought that's easier that way when this is something that I will practice in time to come as well, to have our picture closer to the screen. Probably it will be a lot more effective in this case, I felt. And the eye contact, you see, storytelling is all in the story and how you say it. And eye contact, even though you're on the screen, it's okay to have that kind of eye contact where you relate to us. And that not all stories need to be read out. Sometimes we have to memorize some pointers and just look at us and say that to us, so that it will be really realistic. And yeah, that's one thing I felt, that this eye contact was very, very important. And that and the other thing is that probably it's because you were sitting down that the rocking was there, it was in tandem with the story that was going on, and you were rocking together with the story as well. That is another thing, probably, maybe because you're sitting, probably not happen if you're standing. This is just because we are having a different medium of using to speak, just to point that out. And that will be all. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Thevi, and congratulations for jumping to the evaluation role with last minute's notice and still giving us so many points we can all learn from, points of critical importance. So some speakers online might be rocking on their chairs and some others are rocking evaluations. The important thing is to keep on rocking. Now we can move on to the last evaluation. That will be Toastmaster Margaret evaluating Toastmaster Shanshan's speech. Put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Margaret for her evaluation. Margaret, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. It's midnight in Singapore, and I am standing between you and the exit point. So I will be succinct. Shanshan, I hope you can hear me. Shanshan, you had an excellent story about growing up. You shared with us your childhood. Your project was to connect with the audience, and you came up with a story. And we are all connected because we all went through childhood, and we have siblings, and we all know what it's like to be compared with an elder or a younger sibling. So you were able to relate to the audience almost from the go-get. And you shared with us your experience from swimming lessons to going to school, and then finally to pursue your tertiary education. And I enjoyed your narration. But as a storyteller, the story is made up of characters, and you brought in yourself, your brothers, and your teachers. What would have made the story more lively would have been some interaction through dialogue, either between yourself and your brothers, or between the teacher and yourself. And that would have straight away brought us very vividly into the memory at that time that you experienced your childhood. And a story is made up of, for one, the character, the interaction of the characters, and the climax. Towards the end, you came to the conclusion, or you urged the audience not to compare children. But what I found would have really brought the story up to a climax was for you to share with us your feelings, your thoughts and feelings, and how you felt being compared, if you felt that you were being compared by an adult or by your parents, and how you dealt with those feelings, and how did the feeling of missing out, the fear of missing out, how did that affect you? Because you were the middle child. Your message was very clear. You reminded us not to compare children because every child is different and they're all blessed with different talents and personality. But in terms of the structure, it would have been more helpful for us to see the comparison that you went through between yourself and the brother. Were you comparing with your brothers, or was a parent or a teacher comparing yourselves, the three of you? So that would have brought your message out more clearly. In summary, you brought us through your childhood, through your narrative style. What would have really brought out the climax would have been your personal feelings. And I hope to hear more of your personal stories. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. And if there's any platform where we're not only allowed, but encouraged to get a bit more personal, it is this one, the Singapore Online Toastmasters Club. This brings us to the end of the round of evaluations, and put your hands together for thanking all evaluators for their individual contributions to the success of our team and our meeting. Thank you all. Now would be the time where I ask our president as meeting host to conduct a polling where we get to, yes. So look at that. Before I even get to finish my sentence, the polling is up like magic. So do cast your votes, ladies and gentlemen, about
There is an error inside. My name is inside again, as usual, for evaluation. I don't know why.
Yes, I see. Yes, that is correct. So please don't vote for Shanshan for this meeting. He might be an evaluator next meeting, but not in this one. Okay, less than half our members have voted. And we need a few more votes because to have a winner, somebody has to be upvoted. So currently we are at 40%. Hey, I thought Singapore was a democracy last time I checked. So it's a lot of fun to vote because you know you've participated in the results. So we shall leave the vote poll open for a few more seconds. So far, we have 9 out of 18 people who voted. All right, and since this is the end of our meeting, I would not like to take up any more of your sleep and dreams tonight. So we can end the poll and congratulate Dennis and Panos for a tie when it comes to best evaluators. Congratulations, Dennis. I benefited from your evaluation, same as everybody else, and in particular, our guest evaluators who come and share their know-how in our online community here. We look forward to seeing you again. Having said that, I want to thank you all for operating tonight and contributing in such a cohesive manner. I felt that the meeting tonight was tight and you all performed. And it's always brings me a lot of joy to be serving as the Toastmaster of the day or the evening on a meeting like this.
Thank you, Panos.
So,
you did an excellent job this evening.
thank you, thank you. Looking forward to seeing all of you again before not too long. Enjoy your evening, and I would like to give control of the floor to the club president, Toastmaster Willie.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Before I go my closing speech, I would like the guest author, the club president of TaiZhong Toastmaster Club, to actually the closing speech will be given to her because she's a guest. It's a considered a joint Toastmaster meeting. But before she do that, can I have the guest Winnie, Toastmaster Winnie, if you are still in the room?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can I have your feedback about the meeting?
Well, it's a wonderful meeting because it's my first time to attend an international meeting, especially it's in such kind of very special period. We are suffering from the virus, and we were all of us were blocked at home, and we cannot see the outside world. We cannot go out abroad for traveling and even for business. So it's kind of comfort that makes us feel so we are still connected to the whole world, and there's no spread of the virus in the meeting. And I like your meetings also because we could for us especially, we only have the chance to attend the meeting inside China. We have a lot of chance to meet different people from different world, different regions, and with different kind of views towards the life. So it's really a very good adventure for us. Thank you for the hosting, and thank you for everyone.
Thank you, Winnie, for your feedback. Can I have Shirley, Toastmaster for Macau? Can I have your feedback about the meeting? Are you there, Toastmaster Shirley for Macau Toastmaster Club?
Hello. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
Shirley. Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
We would like to see you as well.
And firstly, I really thanks to Vili, yeah, because you invite me. I am from Macau, and I use Portuguese to study law, so I seldom use English. Because I use Cantonese and Portuguese mostly. And I'm very happy you can invite me, and I can see until midnight. And today is a white vegetarian, right? So I think everybody is very sincere and full of passion. I hope we can continue the passion and to grow up together. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shirley. I have a suggestion for you. We'll send you the application form to join the club, so that we can help you to improve your English.
Long ago, there is a Portuguese club in Macau, but not very people join the Portuguese club because not many people learn in Portuguese. So the Portuguese club Toastmaster disappear.
Okay, no issue. You are always welcome to visit our meeting. How about Toastmaster Viona? Viona. Since you are a guest and I know you are trying to get used to our meeting, can I have your feedback since it's your first time joining our meeting? I think maybe she's... Never mind. Toastmaster Autumn have said that her kid is sleepy, so she's not going to do the feedback and closing address. So I will do it instead. Every meeting, there's always one person who try to unite the club. Tell me who is the one. Is it Toastmaster Alicia, or is it Toastmaster Shasha, or is okay? Before I repeat, Vena, over give us your feedback about the meeting tonight. I guess you are second time attending our meeting. Yes. Can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Yes, this is my second.
Give us your feedback about your meeting tonight. I believe this is your second meeting. Last week you attended our meeting.
Yes, thank you for remembering. Okay, tonight is it's a really delight to join your club, and I hear many accents. That's most exciting part. It's it's a rare chance to hear all those accents in one night. And I really admire those speeches. When they present their speech, they possess a calm, sorry about the connection.
It's okay.
I really enjoy the speech. I admire them, and I am thankful to be here. Thank you very much.
I will look forward to hearing your speech on the 22nd of March. Okay, thank you. I guess the rest of the people, let me continue. In every Toastmaster meeting, there's only one person that is the one to unite the people. Guess who? Is it the speaker? Is it the evaluator? Is it the timer? Or the sergeant of arms? Actually, the person who unite the whole meeting is the Toastmaster of the day. It's not the president. President is the one who runs the club. The Toastmaster of the day is the one who unite the people, regardless of he may face challenges of finding the speaker, the evaluator, as well as getting people to get their introduction. This is a person, and our Toastmaster of the day today, Toastmaster Panos, has shown us 3 things. Servant leadership, number 1. Second thing, emotional intelligence. The third thing, cohesion, that is unity. I do not know what more. So, after next Friday, the Singapore Online will have a online contest, and then a replacement meeting will be held on the 22nd of March from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Singapore local time plus GMT plus 8. We'll return to our normal meeting on the 27th of March. Be better theme of the meeting that touches of leadership. It's normal. We have been listening about communication. Let us think about leadership, and we'll welcome all the guests coming again. Rain, shine, storm, virus. As long as you have internet connection, you are always welcome to attend this the Singapore Online Toastmaster, the youngest club online, and we hope we can be the fastest growing club in Asia. Thank you and have a nice evening. And before I declare the meeting over, I want to say something. After this meeting, you can stay back and chit-chat. And then we can have fun talking. We can show your video. I declare the meeting closed. So, fellow Toastmaster,